Okay, guys, we're live. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, we're good.
Good.
Eli, introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, Derek's little brother.
He's our first kind of pseudo guest, guys. This is RNVP episode 11. We're back.
Applause for myself. So,
It's my little brother. He is a incoming freshman at Georgia Gwinnett College. Very, very proud of this big guy, and I think he's gonna be a very interesting guest today. So I appreciate having him on today.
Yeah, guys, Eli looked like he got 2 jobs, 2 kids, and some bills. So, Eli taller than me, and I'm like 6 foot, and Jerron like 6'1". He taller than Jerron. It's kind of scary. They need to stop feeding these kids these chicken nuggets, cause bro, y'all getting too big. Y'all get way too damn big. No, for real, these kids get way too big.
So hormones, the steroids they inject them.
Bro, he be putting them steroids in them chickens, bro. Oh my god. All right, let's talk about these trash ass finals.
Wasn't really trash.
Derek, they were ass.
I know.
Derek, and it wasn't
there.
even the
Trash.
basketball. It was just everything surrounding the shit was just trash, and it just kind of.
Okay. Let's back up. Before we even get into the finals, I want to do a quick side note. Are the finals less interesting without LeBron James in them?
No. I think there were plenty of storylines if everybody was healthy. If everybody was healthy, the storylines would have been fantastic.
I think the ratings show that might have some merit, though.
Yeah, but LeBron is just a transcendent figure, Derek. Like I don't think anybody that was playing is really as transcendent of a basketball player as he is. Right? Like,
okay, you gotta factor in because
y'all go.
They gotta factor in the whole story of the finals. They gotta factor in the whole story. You have no KD, so anybody that was interested in like KD to see who's going to win or not watching. You had Clay go out, so now he's hobbled. It's like just everything that happened would bring down viewership, and the fact that a lot of ratings don't even factor in Canada at all. So
yeah, Derek, and like I was saying,
like all them people that watch it aren't even factored in.
Yeah,
but like it's not only the finals; it's been the entirety of the playoffs. It's not been like as highly rated.
Derek, honestly,
the playoffs up until
the semifinals were dope.
Yeah,
the conference semifinals were crazy. They were brazy. Like they were great, entertaining, narrative-driven, basketball-driven basketball. We get to the actual conference finals and the finals, and they were absolute donkey ass. Like it was awful. It was awful. Like we didn't see KD play for a whole month, bro. A whole month. I don't think LeBron holds weight, but he don't even I don't even think that he could have saved this shit if everybody else was hurt.
If LeBron came out with another 50-point double, I think that would have some odds for the next game. But yeah. I just want to talk about that before we really dig into.
And I really don't care about ratings because
honestly,
all high ratings show is that more casual watch. Like it'd be different. Like if you could show me that hardcore NBA fans weren't watching it, then I would care. But casuals not watching, I really don't care. You really didn't care anyway.
We don't have to care, but the NBA has to care because the NBA has people that invest in the NBA and they have to show some metrics of growth. So if you show traction, it's harder for you to get more and more people to buy into to want to have ownership in teams. It's harder. It's hard. It's all about business because this is what makes the NBA go round. It's what makes the players able to have the lives that they have. It's what allows teams to have world-class trainers and facilities. It overall makes the product better. So although it seems like it's kind of like an afterthought, it actually is important because if we had the same level of viewership that we do
I mean, what do
if we have the same like level of viewership as we did in like the 80s, the NBA isn't the pantheon, the mega league it is today. Like we're talking, we expect in the next 15 years, 10 years, for the NBA to overtake football as like America's most watched sport.
Yeah, no,
So,
Derek, not even America's most watched sport. Like I was saying beforehand, it's like Jerron was saying, like Derek, like I said, if Canada has 37, 38 million people in it, and 50% of Canadians were watching the finals, that's what 14 million people, 13 million people watching. That only grows the sport because now you can put a team in another Canadian city. Like I said, Vancouver, which had an NBA basketball team. So now you have one on either coast of Canada.
They ain't getting another one.
I think they will draw in the next 10 years. Absolutely. If Toronto keeps proving to be fruitful, absolutely. That's why I think the league will kind of.
You better hope Kawhi resigns.
I think he will, actually.
I won't be surprised if he did. We'll save the free agency stuff.
I don't know.
All right, so like
his press conferences don't sound like it.
I mean, either way, the fact that the city has a championship, it's huge for the country. But let's get into the final. So like, essentially, what we saw was
hold on. Before you get in there. So, what do you suggest that the NBA do to build their ratings then? Because you can't just put LeBron back in the finals. He's about to retire.
I mean, I understand that, but the thing is, it started happening this year when we saw our actual new stars and guys like Giannis and Jokic start to get some shine. The NBA needs to do a better job of going and really showcasing these small market teams. Like anybody could have told you the Bucks would be the team that they're going to be, or at least one of these contenders last year. They need more national media spotlight. For damn sure, the Nuggets need some more national TV games. Like, please, they need to be featured. And they need to be featured playing against these top tier teams. They need to be featured when they play against the Lakers. When they play against, that needs to be like box office TV, so people around the league can really see these guys. Because when LeBron leaves, there is going to be a vacuum. And as much as we like guys like Giannis and Jokic, those guys, for at least American viewing audiences, it's going to be kind of harder to really relate to those guys. And guys like Steph, they're kind of already established. They already have their fans. So I understand it's a talent thing too with LeBron and the transcendent player he is, that he's garnered so much attention and so much viewership. But that's going to have to be dispersed until we get that next pantheon guy. Whether it's a Zion or whether it's somebody that's not in the league or whether it's somebody that's in the league. The league we got to admit, the league's been leaning on LeBron for the better part of 2 decades now. And it's really starting to show that without him, they need to start making these plans. That's all I'm saying. Because I do want the NBA to grow. My dream is that we'll have NBA teams on other continents. That the NBA will be a truly global sport, or at least you'll have, if not the NBA, you'll have international play that's not just limited to 2 countries. You'll have actual teams, world-class teams that don't play in the NBA that can play against NBA teams, and we can really determine what best basketball is played. That's my dream. That's the final goal of basketball. But
I agree. But that still don't take the fact that these finals were some ass on the court. I'm just no.
Oh yeah, we can get into that right now.
No.
So what? Why?
Remember, I only watched 2 games. So,
do you think it's more that people hate the Warriors or people love an underdog?
Derek, they hate the Warriors.
They don't like
Derek, they don't like them for the most arbitrary reasons. First of all, if your team was the Warriors, you would be an asshole too. That's one. Two, if you won as much as the Warriors, you wouldn't be as humble. You wouldn't be humble. Okay. I honestly have no problems with them. I've never had a problem with them. People just think that because Steph hits a 30-foot step back three in your face and he shimmies down the court, that makes him a front runner and you don't like him. Okay, man. All right. You're cool. You're cool. Like, people just hate him, Derek. Like, people just wanted to see something new and then people hated them. So they rooted for a team that they honestly like. Think about this, Derek. They rooted for the team they hated the most with the team that they had the most jokes for. Do you realize how stupid NBA Twitter? That's why I was like, this is so disingenuous. Like, y'all can't even fake.
That, it is a good point. It's crazy to see how just days before people had the memes for Kyle Lowry. Like, you know what I mean? Like how Kyle Lowry is like the freaking punch. Yeah, he's the punching bag for anything that happens, anything wrong that ever happens to the Toronto Raptors. Like when Kyle Lowry clearly got blocked on a jump shot, people were throwing the Spice Adams memes. Him Spice Adams breaking wide open jumpers and saying that's Kyle Lowry, or talking about how they couldn't rely on Kyle Lowry to do anything. Like when Kyle Lowry was struggling against the Bucks.
I mean,
what are you gonna say?
Draw.
I mean, they still had the same memes when he missed that shot. They still had the same memes. What was it, Game 5 when he missed that shot that got blocked?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, like
they had the same memes in the finals. They was rooting for him.
Like,
they still had the same memes.
I just have a very hard time believing that people would have had the same type of narratives for a Toronto Raptors team that didn't have Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam for most of the series. I would find it very, very hard to believe y'all would be like, well, injuries happen and that's sports. No, y'all wouldn't be saying that. There's nobody that would be saying that. Y'all be like, this sucks. The Warriors are going to get it easy again. Yada, 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 yada. So why can I not use the same logic that be like, if KD and Clay were healthy, they getting the Raptors up out of here in 5-6 games. But I'm the one that's the hater. No, man. All the haters.
Because y'all didn't give the same energy to LeBron in 2015. That's all Twitter wanted to use.
Yeah, bro. It's the dumbest narrative. And Jerron, like I was telling Derek before the podcast, there were a whole bunch of people who said injuries mattered after that. There were a whole bunch of people who said, well, if they had Kyrie and Kevin Love, they would have won. Yeah, I agree with you.
What if the game is it's stupid?
It's so stupid. Like this, Derek, it ruined. Not only was they're hurt, the whole narrative stuff surrounding the shit was just all it was all focused on beating the Warriors, kicking them while they're down. Like, I would have rather us clown the Warriors when they're fully healthy. That's funny. That's funny. That's entertaining. Me beating up on Derek, Toronto is a good enough basketball team to beat a team without Kevin Durant.
I don't know if they beat a healthy Klay Thompson, Steph Curry.
They were healthy though.
Klay wasn't healthy.
What was he injured with prior to tearing his ACL?
He missed Game 3, if I'm recalling.
Yeah, with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, he missed Game 3.
He had a hamstring injury from Game 2 all the way into now. And then he tore his ACL. They were banged up the entire series.
Well, and Iggy was injured too, and Kevon Looney had issues. It wasn't.
I don't think. I'm not going to give that. I understand hamstring injury is a serious injury, but I'm not going to give it so much validity because that man was going off prior to him tearing his shit.
I'm saying if he plays a Game 3, did they win Game 3?
No, they lost. That was that the game that Curry went off for
47?
Yeah, they lost Game 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. That kind of kills my point. Never mind.
Yeah, and I just that it not only was it not entertaining because people were unhealthy, it was just like I said, just the narrative surrounding this whole damn thing with KD being like hurt on all the speculation to like people actually like treating Toronto like a damn underdog when they're not. They're not an underdog.
I
They've
think
proven that they're not an underdog.
I think for you to enjoy this year's NBA Finals, you have to take in all the storylines and enjoy every last one of them. You got to enjoy Kawhi's journey from people doubting him from the Spurs and to becoming making a new definition of what a journeyman could be, right? Because even though this is his second team, it seems like for me personally, I don't think Kawhi's staying, right? So for Kawhi to go and win a ring, a one-off ring for a whole country and leave, I think that's just a beautiful story on its own. And then you have the whole entire implosion of the Warriors from within, if depending on what happens with KD, whether he leaves or not. And I thought that how everything turned out, it was I like the way that this season ended because like I look at this year as more of like I'm pretty sure you guys are into anime a little bit, but like I looked at this season more as like an arc, the end of this Warrior domination, right? Because they've been literally like slapping around the league for the last 5 years, and now they have to go back and they're not going to be the center of attention for the first time in 5 years. So
it's actually going to be a little relieving for them.
Yeah, I think that for you to enjoy this NBA Finals, not only do you have to be a cultured basketball fan, but then you also have to understand like the individual like storylines and the stuff that players had to go through to get to the points where they are right now. And that's what I liked about this NBA Finals more than anything, because you take in the way that Kawhi plays the game and how it doesn't take Kawhi a whole game for him to figure out how you're going to try to stop him. I think it's more about how many plays can we stop him before he's like, okay, this is not going to work on me anymore. He processes defenses so quickly. That's what makes him such an incredible offensive talent. And that's what I liked about this series going in, because I knew the Warriors were a great defensive team, but I knew Kawhi wasn't going to go for that. I knew Kawhi was more of a player that's like, okay, it's going to take him some time to figure out how the Warriors are going to guard him, and after that, it's pretty much whatever Kawhi wants to do, because Kawhi's not going to get held down the whole entire game. And then you have Clay and Steph, even though they don't have KD, could they still go out and win a ring without them? Could they still prove that they are still this unbeatable force going into the finals?
Brothers,
yeah. It was kind of like a ship breaking down. It was like a ship that was on its last legs, and
maybe it gets you to shore.
Yeah, like could we finish the job? I think that's what I enjoyed about the finals. So I'm not going to say that this finals was ass, because I enjoyed the basketball in it and how everything came into fruition toward in the end of it.
So I get that. I think what Jake's saying is that he loves basketball so much that he expects the finals to be the matchup of the best
Big facts.
30 players playing against the best 15 against the best 15 in the world.
I understand.
So when that doesn't happen and the quality of games are like kind of blowout-y, it's just not enjoyable. He can't fall in love with the narratives if the basketball isn't clean and he knows in the back of his head that it could be better if X, Y, and Z were playing. It's one thing to say, well, if the Rockets were playing, then the finals would have been better.
That's with every sport. I understand what you're saying about how like injuries are a part of the game, and people try to use that as like a deterrent to like fuck with the Warriors this year. But me personally, I'm not using it against the Warriors, but injuries are a part of the game. Andrew Bynum did not play against the Celtics the year that we won. Mm-hmm. Andrew Bynum was injured. The Game 7 against the Lakers, Kendrick Perkins was injured. Injuries are a part of the sport. Of course, we would love to see every team fully healthy going into everything, but we got to take everything when it comes. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's
Yeah, I understand that, but this is my thing. Like we have to use like context. It's not only the injuries, it's how impactful the person is that gets injured. Like I wouldn't give a fuck if OG Anunoby got hurt. Like I wouldn't want him to get hurt, but he doesn't matter to the overall grand scheme of the Raptors.
He still is on that team.
Derek, he got benched. He didn't play the whole playoffs.
Okay, I'm about to say
He didn't get benched. He was literally injured for the first 2 rounds.
Okay, and also
Oh,
too,
was he? I thought he was put on
OG.
Nick
No,
Nurse made
OG.
that choice.
No, OG was injured for the first 2 rounds. He didn't come back until they played the Bucks. That's when OG came back. But it was too late to put him in rotation at that point.
yeah, because Fred VanVleet was playing out of his mind, so they didn't have any.
Fred was hurt the first 2 rounds.
No, Fred was hurt the first.
Fred was hurt, but OG was hurt.
The Sixers
too.
were a bad matchup for him. It was a very, very.
No,
bad
I'm talking about against the Pistons. Fred
Yeah,
was hurt.
like
I
I
didn't
would,
need him because they're cold. He knows a Dwayne Casey team. You
yeah,
know,
like if Jonas Jerebko got hurt, I wouldn't care. But this is Kevin fucking Durant.
I feel you. I think it's more about me enjoying the fact that Kawhi Leonard got this ring for.
Oh no, man, Kawhi is a sociopath on that court.
Yeah,
he is. He has to get better though. I see massive flaws in his game, but he is a sociopath.
yeah, Kawhi has
massive flaws. What massive flaws do you see?
He is not a playmaker by the farther stretch of the imagination.
Okay,
He is awful at that. He gets that part of his game down pat. Oh my god.
That's not going to happen. Kawhi Leonard's just not. I don't think that's.
Oh my god.
Kawhi Leonard, like you think, Jake? You honestly think Kawhi Leonard's going to turn into a 6-7 assists per game type of guy?
I don't.
Yeah,
That's
how do y'all think Kawhi is?
Like 26.
You build.
That's the point. Derek, he can get better. He should strive to get better.
I mean, when you just win, you become the first player to win Finals MVP in 2 different conferences.
He's built different.
That I think he's the player he is. Like, I would hope
he becomes a better because he can already just score. I'm not saying he's a prolific scorer. Oh, excuse me. He's not a prolific scorer like that, but he can score. He's like borderline. Here we go. He's borderline. But like, man, when he learns how to play make, oh Jesus.
I don't think.
Oh God.
I think the thing about Kawhi is that he's such a complete off-ball player.
I compare Kawhi to Kobe a little bit because Kobe, you have to build around Kobe for Kobe to be as effective as he was, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the same thing with Kawhi. You can't give Kawhi
a team and be like, "Hey, Kawhi, change your game so that these guys can get better."
You can't put Kawhi on the Hawks and expect the Hawks to make noise in the playoffs. That team would though. No, they would get bitched in the playoffs.
What are you saying?
Oh no.
Yes.
Eli, they have an elite point guard that could get Kawhi the ball in his spots. We're talking about somebody that's
a coach. With what? And besides John Collins and Trae Young, that the rest of that team needs
the Hawks would drop amounts of. The Hawks would drop shit off of people, bro.
This whole entire podcast is to be everything wrong with the Atlanta Hawks. Defensively, that team needs a complete overhaul. They're going in the right direction, but no, that team will. They'll be.
You put Kawhi on any 32 of these teams, they are instantly better.
They're better. They're better for sure. They're better, but they're not.
If Kawhi was on the Hawks, the 76ers would have dropped him easily.
Okay, I agree with that. Let's start talking about the Atlanta Hawks when we talk about
but my overall point is how important the person is. Like, I could really honestly care less if any of the 8th or 7th man from the Toronto Raptors or the Golden State Warriors got hurt. Right?
But it's arguably the best player in the world that got injured.
And that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, I'm not saying just anybody. Like, when back in 2015, when I saw Kyrie crack his kneecap, I was like, this shit is over. This sucks.
Oh,
I hate that finals. I never want to see a game of that finals. I don't even remember watching a game of that finals.
Did LeBron take them to 6 games?
That was the only.
LeBron took their ass to 6 games, bro, with Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, LeBron was going crazy that finals five. If I'm recalling correctly,
Yeah. But Eric, I just eventually knew they were going to lose. Like once Steve Kerr made that decision to insert Andre Iguodala into the lineup and play David Lee more, it was over. It was over at that point. They won like 3 straight. Yeah, they won 3 straight games. The reason why I love the 2016 final so much is everybody was healthy enough to get their shit off. It was just LeBron and Kyrie got their shit off.
Wait, the 2016?
The 2016 finals was like one of the probably like in the 2010s. It's like the best finals.
The 3-1.
It's the best finals. Period.
No, I mean yes. As far as like, because in 10 years people are not going to remember everything that went into that finals. But like you said, we got to put context into that. Draymond Green was suspended for a game. Andre Iguodala had massive back spasms in that series. Steph Curry was playing on broken ankles, essentially. Well, not broken ankles. I'm not going to go to that.
Actually, he was playing on a slightly sprained knee that he said he was fine with, and he still averaged like 30 points that series.
He wasn't. I mean, Steph.
I had tendonitis this series and got 30. I'm just saying everybody was healthy enough to get they shit off. Draymond game 7 had 37 points.
But what about Draymond game 6? Like you can't.
They still had a chance to compete and win. KD never got the chance to compete. He competed for 11 minutes. If you looked at Klay Thompson's minutes he played game 1, came out of game 2, second quarter. So he missed that. He missed game 3. He played game 4.
All I'm saying is like Draymond Green would not have let LeBron go off for another 40-point game in that finals.
Why do you let him do it in game 7?
Okay, this series was a lot different.
That's what I was saying. Like, I'm putting everything in the context. I'm just saying the dudes are on the court. The dudes are on the court. They're on the court. And they can still get their shit off. KD couldn't even get his shit off. Klay couldn't get his shit off. Klay was literally, if you really think about it, just off minutes, missed 2 games. KD missed 5. The Raptors should have beat them. This should not be the underdogs beat the superior super team. No, a good basketball team beat a hurt basketball team. Period. They should have done it, and if they didn't do it, I would clown the fuck out of them.
Just like we clowned the Rockets for not being able to be a K-list. A KD.
That's awful. That is awful. I was so pissed. I'm like, y'all gotta close these dudes out.
Y'all couldn't beat them at home.
you let Steph go for 16 in the fourth quarter? Okay. All right.
Rockets full soul of that series. Like,
James Harden didn't score a single point that fourth quarter. He didn't take a shot.
In fact, if y'all don't recall, Jake was flaming Steph for not having a single point in one of those Rockets games.
It was game 6, bro. We had a podcast in the middle of that game. I was telling you and Jerron to keep that same energy because Steph was sucking, and then he immediately, as I was shitting on him, was dropping massive amounts of shit off in the fucking Rockets. And then y'all end up telling me he finished with 36. And I was like, he had 2 points. So you tell me he got 34 off in the second half?
No, he had 0 points.
Yes.
He has 0 points.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I jumped out the window, but Steph gave me a parachute. See? Yeah, that's all I'm saying, Eli. I'm not saying that I'm saying this ass because I didn't really get to like really see it. Like, okay, like I was telling Derek like a week ago. Imagine if everybody was healthy and the Raptors still pull this off in 6.
Ooh, that would be
okay. That would be top 5 finals of my lifetime.
It would have been better than the 2016 finals.
Absolutely. 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 It would have been amazing. It would have been amazing. But we were robbed of that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But like, you know, it's big, it's huge for Canada. It's huge for the NBA. Adam Silver has to be, I'm not saying excited, but for the prospects of basketball internationally, he has to be pretty excited because he has now a template that he can use in the Toronto Raptors to kind of expand the game.
I'm kind of happy that all these, like, a lot of these guys that are like LeBron, like dick riders, are like for one series, like they weren't like a factor into this, because I was kind of, it was getting annoying of all these like illogical arguments of why LeBron could win. You know what I mean? It was refreshing to see like more basketball talk than just this fanboy talk.
Yeah. If I could have one thought, like one thing I can like really say about these finals is that the Raptors played great basketball, but they played great basketball against a very depleted, hurt basketball team.
Like, I think Sean Livingston's a corpse. Like, we don't even really have to talk about like the fact the Warriors didn't have like their stars. Like, aside from Andre Iguodala, the Warriors like bench
was awful.
It was trash all year though. So
yeah, they were bad all year. That's why KD played 72 games. KD played 78 games this year, bro.
I'm looking down the line. I'm like, okay, Quinn Cook. I'm looking at Sean Lewis. I'm like, what happened? It looked like he just tore his shit up again.
That bench has been better ever since they got Kevin Durant. They essentially sold their benches sold for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Derek, this ain't the strength in numbers Warriors, bro, where they had Leandro Barbosa, Maurice Spates, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Ian Clark, David West. Like that's a good bench.
More
that's a legit bench.
Bazemore was on that team.
Kent Bazemore was on he was on the Warriors in their first run.
No, Kent Bazemore was on the Hawks.
No, Kent Bazemore was on the Warriors. I think
and then they let him go in free agency, and he went to the Hawks, right?
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
well, chip with them.
Steph got to get this work too. Steph,
well
in that fourth quarter, Steph couldn't hold it down for 5 minutes, bro.
I think Steph, the way to guard Steph, it's pretty. Like, I think we've pretty much seen if you body Steph up, you make him uncomfortable, you don't let him get to his spots, off the ball, on the ball. If he's not in a rhythm, it's going to be very hard for him to recover. And Steph needs his system in place to really be the player he is because of his frame. He's just not a physical player, and really, it didn't look to me. What surprised me is that Steph wasn't like doing anything off the dribble game 6. Like Steph wasn't going and attacking the rim. It was just pretty much like Steph was throwing up pedestrian jump shots and hoping they went in. Like I could always count on Steph Curry at the very least, to take you off the dribble and get you with some crappy floaters or layups. I really didn't see much of that.
Yeah, I agree, Derek.
I agree. Kind of phoned it in Game 6. What I really wanted to get you guys to take on is what happened to DeMarcus Cousins was reminiscent of what happened to John Stockton and Gary Payton back in, what was it, 04? When they lost to the Pistons, where DeMarcus Cousins tried to join his super team and get a free chip, and it just pretty much backfired on him.
Oh, no. Okay. Eric, because you're talking to a Lakers fan, let me tell you something about Karl Malone and Gary Payton joining the 04 Lakers. They joined an organization in which the coach was beefing with his 2 superstars, and then the 2 superstars literally could not stand each other to the point where both of them were constantly threatening each other's lives. On top of Kobe could not stand Karl Malone, and Gary Payton is an asshole. So you put those 2 personalities in that mixture on top of our 4 of our bench guys were out for the season. Yeah.
They still show.
Detroit was gonna give us that work.
They still work. They still show.
No, Derek, that Detroit team is probably the greatest defensive team ever. So
I'm not geared to make comments necessarily on that
because you were too young. You were 4.
I don't have the history on that.
woo, Derek, what you mean, woo?
I've seen some Celtics defensive teams prior to that. I've seen some Pistons defensive teams like prior to that.
I said the 04 Pistons team was great, like legit statistically. Like they had an in prime Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Rasheed Wallace. I mean, all 4 of them dudes have been multiple time first defensive. They have 4 of them on one squad. I mean, what we talking about? What 6'11", 6'8", 6'7", 6'10"?
She was a solid 7 feet tall.
Yeah, like that's what I'm there. Like, yo, they were like legit. Like, they would clamp you up. They would clamp you all the way up. Like, but yeah, we should have lost that series. I would say with Boogie is I think people are blowing this all out of proportion. Like, and again, context is missing. Boogie didn't join them to get a free damn ring. Boogie joined them because they were the best option if he was going to get that low of money. Like, you wouldn't join the Memphis Grizzlies for 1 year, $5 million. I would join the Warriors for 1 year, $5 million.
Okay, so let's slow down here. Okay. The purpose of DeMarcus Cousins, if it wasn't for him to get a ring, it was at least for him to be able to showcase that he had these skills so that he could show he was healthy and he was deserving of a bigger contract later on.
I agree.
So the way he would accomplish that would be for him to show that he could be a key piece, if not the key piece. He wasn't going to be the key piece, so at least an important piece in winning basketball. And he proved that although it was really unfortunate he had to do that in the same year he was trying to recover from injury, that with his play style and his body in the modern NBA, he isn't yet the type of player that is playable over a Kevon Looney. Like, DeMarcus Cousins was on his way to getting benched in like game, was it 4? Like he wasn't going to get any play until Kevon Looney went out again, and then he had to play. Like after he had that 11.6 rebounds, that double with like the 6 rebounds or the 6 assists or something. Like after that, like DeMarcus Cousins pretty much was showing to be pedestrian and like a non-factor. And he went from being an all NBA like max level guy to getting that shot with the Warriors to now we look at him and we look at like what is he gonna get $20 million a year anytime soon?
No.
Like who's gonna be with them?
No.
Like who's he gonna sign with? Like
he has to prove that he can be healthy before he can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the quad injury didn't help. The quad injury definitely didn't help.
Yeah, what is next for DeMarcus?
It's really like he's in like almost. I think he's better off than IT is because Isaiah Thomas is like.
I mean, yeah, Isaiah Thomas has the whole entire height thing going on for him.
And like also too, like he literally had even less of a body of work this season than DeMarcus, way less in fact than DeMarcus Cousins did. In the games he played, he just didn't look right. So, but like it's something to be said that we looked at DeMarcus Cousins as the icing on the cake of the Warriors, and now we look at him and we say he get all things given, he still wasn't somebody that we looked to. We could have said that's another all-star that could have helped the Warriors. Like we can't really look at him this year and say.
Honestly, Derek. Okay, so let me just like before he blew out his quad, the last month of the season he was playing really good basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a known fact. Like he was really working himself into shape. It looked like the Achilles was not the issue. And then he blows his quad out, right? I think that if he's healthy and KD goes down, they could beat the Raptors. Might, given the injury issues, maybe. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know. That's just a big maybe. But I've always been on the position, and y'all have known this since last year, that he should have just sat out the whole season.
Yeah, I don't think you should play coming off the Achilles.
He should never came back. Like if KD and Clay were smart, we don't see them into November 2020. No, we don't see Clay into November. We don't see Clay into October 2020, and we don't see KD into January 2021. If he is smart, if KD is brilliant, if KD is after this injury sits down and thinks about it, he's gonna miss everything until now. So June 2020 is a year. Then you have the whole offseason. So basketball starts in October. So you basically have July, August, September, October. It's 4 more months. That's 16 months. What's stopping you from missing the last 2 months? So honestly, KD should miss 18 months.
Yeah.
I think
January 2021 is a great time to just come back.
Because he needs a full year to recover. Like this,
In like 6 years, because everybody who's torn their Achilles has said it takes them like a year to feel like themselves, and then feel like yourself for 6 months. Slowly but surely, just work yourself back, man. And like for Clay, same thing, bro. Miss a year, and then give yourself an off season.
Didn't John Wall tear his Achilles?
He tore his Achilles and his
Yes, like think about this, Derek. Think about this. KD and John Wall will be playing basketball at the same time. They will both be coming back at the same time. John Wall will probably be coming back right around November next year, December, if not anywhere. Because remember, he had surgery on his foot and then he tore his Achilles.
Then he tears ACL too.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
John Wall has some issues.
Like John Wall got problems. John Wall needs Terminator legs.
He's gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy because his whole game is I'm faster than you. That's essentially how he plays basketball.
Now he's gonna be like, I could be useful.
Let me take this jump. Oh, that's not my game.
You can't. Damn. You see, that's the thing that gives you hope about Kevin Durant.
He can shoot.
Yeah, he's a shooter. Shooters last in this league, right? You were built like, let's say LeBron got this shit. Oh, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to LeBron if LeBron towards Achilles. I don't think LeBron's losing 40% of his athleticism, especially that he's getting older.
Yeah, Derek, I would like literally have to agree with Eli. Like LeBron would just be like a 6'8", like power, like he would be Boris Diaw.
I mean, he could still put up a good, like I would say,
like
player. He'll be
like no, he can still put up like 15, 18. He ain't give you like the 28 and 8. No,
I think he can give you 20, but he's not gonna. I think it'll be like 28 and like 4. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, like it's not gonna be. Yeah, Derek, it's gonna be a drop off. Yeah, man. Like tear your Achilles, man. Because Derek, like. It's crazy. Like I was looking up and they're like, why does the Achilles injury sap people of their athleticism? Well, I mean, like your glute is attached to your hamstring is attached to your calf, and your calf is attached to your Achilles. Your Achilles is attached to your heel, which is then attached to the ball of your feet. So it's literally the fulcrum of your body. For athlete, it's literally the fulcrum of your body. If it goes and it's never the same, you are never the same. You can explode. You can't cut. You can't do the sudden movements like you used to. It's terrifying. It's yeah, man.
Good thing DeMarcus Cousins doesn't need to worry about that.
Exactly. That's the saving grace with DeMarcus Cousins. He could just go be a slow center. Like what DeMarcus needs to do. Yeah, like what DeMarcus needs to do is go like sit his ass down somewhere, like rehab, and like go lose some weight.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't need to sit down. He needs to get up.
What team could he go to and just be productive, bro? He's not a winner. Like DeMarcus Cousins is not built to win.
He needs to average.
He's a big man Kyrie in my opinion, bro. He's not built to win at all.
Bro, remember when Dwight Howard was gonna come to the Warriors and the Warriors were like,
they should have picked up Dwight. No, because they probably would have been better off picking up Dwight because they would have just sat his ass down like that, like what the Wizards did this year, and just have him play in the playoffs. They were probably better off with Dwight having. Because Dwight, I'll tell you this: he's definitely better than Andrew Bogut. He's still top 10 center in the league. Name 10 centers better than Dwight.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Eli again there. I don't even think I can name 10 centers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't even think I can do that, bro.
Chris Capella is not better than Dwight. You are disrespectful.
Yo, they're trying to get Dwight Howard the fuck out of here. Yo, Derek, like he a G League center.
You got so
he's like the best backup center in the NBA. I give him that.
You got like people forget what Dwight Howard.
Yo, don't disrespect Boban.
Back in the day,
He's still.
Hey, yo,
Derek, plays essentially with a broken back for the last 4 years.
Derek, don't disrespect Boban. Boban's the best backup in the league. Hold on now.
Boban's crazy.
Boban's crazy. Imagine Boban on the Warriors.
Didn't Dwight average like 14 and 11 last year or something?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And the Warriors could have used that 14 and goddamn 11.
Oh, I would have loved to see Dwight Howard on the Warriors, bro. Oh, that would have been fun to watch.
But Dwight Howard had we got to remember, Dwight Howard had one of the most embarrassing seasons.
You think Fred VanVleet's making all these crazy layups? No, them shits are getting sent into the stand. You think Kyle Lowry? No,
it fundamentally, it really does fundamentally change like the Warriors' whole defense, though. Like they would just go out and press everybody, even if they know they're gonna get beat. They just fundamentally into him. Honestly, they should have resigned JaVale McGee. That's the thing they fucked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have resigned JaVale McGee before I tried to get some DeMarcus Cousins, but that's just me, you know.
Where would you send DeMarcus Cousins and him be useful? Could you send him to Charlotte and he'd be useful?
Why would you watch that?
Why would you put Kemba? Okay. Why would you put Kemba and DeMarcus together? That's like peanut butter and motor oil. They don't go together. Like,
peanut butter.
Like that's just no. That's nasty as hell.
Yeah, what DeMarcus needs to do is identify an up and coming team, like a team that's like kind of.
I don't want him back on the Kings. He's gonna kill the Kings.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he needs to find like a Kings that's not the Kings, like a team that was like
Phoenix. No,
nah.
Hey yo, Jerron. I think he coming to Atlanta.
Marcus?
Oh wait. No.
You know that wouldn't be too bad.
That would not be too bad for him. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't be too bad for him. They got the money to pay him, and they need a center.
Bro, like DeMarcus is too slow for this league, bro. He's too slow. These skinny, lanky centers is like, what's up next? Like
Kevon Looney. What type of contract is Kevon Looney gonna get?
Kevon Looney is getting mob money from Joe Lacob for playing with the broke rib and the broke collarbone.
Oh, yeah.
Like he gonna get paid. Like Joe Lacob.
Dallas will pay him just to sit on the bench. I promise you. Dallas loves old Warrior players, bro. That's just the Zealeys, Harrison Barnes.
Don't even play no more.
But
Y'all
they
know
love
that's
the
the thing
Warriors.
in the league, right?
I think he's rotting on the Mavericks bench.
No, he's going.
No, Derek, he's not in the NBA anymore.
He's going.
Where's my man Festus? This cannot be right.
No, Derek.
He's like the Jawan Blair of our generation, or my generation.
Festus Ely should have took that qualifying
Bro,
offer.
he's on the bench for Blazers. Y'all capping, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, like I said, finals were just like a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know about everybody else.
Not too much longer. He's not getting that big contract. He's not getting that. It's over.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna get a big time contract. I think he's gonna get like a 2-year, maybe like $40 million.
40 million is pushing it. Maybe 2 years, $30 million.
Hey, if Jabari Parker could get that, DeMarcus can get that.
Yeah, like, I gotta agree with Ron on this one, bro. Like I can see him in the Knicks. The Knicks don't give him the supermax. Like the Knicks desperate, bro. Like
Listen,
the Knicks,
we're able to sign Kevin Durant, but listen, we got Tobias Harris, DeMarcus Cousins, Kemba Walker.
hey yo, Eli, why you kidding? That's a nice little squad. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a nice little squad to get bitched out the second. They're out the second round. Giannis is looking at that team like, huh? What?
Tobias Harris is going to be a 76er anyway. So.
That's true.
76ers,
Yo, they would get donkey fucked right after the playoffs. Man, they defensive rating in the playoffs is awful.
Yeah, we got us a nice combination. We got us a Nikola Vucevic.
Somebody needs to get out.
Derek, stop playing because that might be my center. Stop playing.
We need to go if we can do a search and rescue.
Ew! Wait, DeMarcus Cousins on the Lakers? Ew!
Oh no, Eli. That's the minute I hop off that narcotic. That is the minute I put the Laker blunt all the way down.
Oh.
And I'm never picking it back up. Nope. That happens.
You don't want to see the Marcus and LeBron?
No, I'm putting a hit out on Genie and Rob.
What type of lob will be thrown? It'll just be DeMarcus to LeBron. It can't be LeBron to DeMarcus.
Run the floor. What?
Run the floor.
I'll lock.
Y'all hella disrespect. Y'all are so yeah.
Of all time.
Y'all are so dirty right now. Y'all are crazy.
Don't disrespect Kevin Love.
It's crazy.
Okay, are we done with the finals? I don't really even think like.
Yeah,
Okay. So what do y'all think will happen in the free agency then?
Let's break it down. We gotta break it down.
I'm not gonna worry about
order.
I'm not gonna worry about free agency though. We're talking about the draft, not free agency.
Okay. So we're gonna go order draft, a little bit of free agency, and what happens next year.
The draft is free agency though. Like the draft this year isn't anything like special.
Well, the draft is gonna be like E3 this year for the gaming generation of next year.
The draft literally is about to determine where Anthony Davis goes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I think, right? Yes. Okay. First and foremost, if Danny Ainge trades for Anthony Davis, I will 60% not be a Celtics fan for like next year until we 10.
Shut up. I swear to God, y'all are tweaking, bro.
No. Derek's tweaking. I'm not saying
Eli gonna be like, hey yo, where that AD jersey at?
Okay, my thing is this, right? Not to talk about personal teams because we'll have a segment for that, but this is just a part of the bigger free agency discussion. Anthony Davis is literally the crown jewel of free agency now that Kevin Durant is going to be gone. Even if you sign Kevin Durant, the idea for a lot of these teams is we have Kevin Durant, City be great. We've done it. And now that you have to delay that gratification, I feel like a lot of markets, especially New York, after not being so good, having to sign Kevin Durant and then be bad. Number one, it's going to be really hard for a team to sign Kevin Durant and then get another star and say, listen, you carry the team, have a LeBron and the Lakers type year this year, and just learn. And if you make it to the playoffs, that's good. I think that's going to be a hard sell. So where Anthony Davis goes is really going to be the foundational brick of the free agency. I ultimately think that Anthony Davis is going to find his way onto either the Nets, but probably most likely the Lakers. I don't think Danny Ainge. It's not that I don't think he's bold enough. I just don't think he has enough faith in like his ability to keep an Anthony Davis, especially if Kyrie leaves, to trade for Anthony Davis and give up two of the building blocks for the future, especially in a wide open NBA. Not even for this year, but going forward. It's not a race to get to the top anymore. It's not a race to beat the Warriors. So there is no rush. So with that being said, I do think the Lakers do get Anthony Davis. And my thing is, what do they have to give up to get him? And then what does that leave with the rest of the team? Because with the Lakers, my biggest fear is not if they can attract, an Anthony Davis. It's what are they going to do with the cap space if they don't get another superstar? And can they build a complete team around LeBron James, especially if they have to give up a lot of their depth? If they give up like if they give up Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, and the fourth pick, I don't know if Rob Pelinka is a good enough GM to really build a team around just those two guys.
Why? I don't understand why people is like. I understand LeBron. He's LeBron. It's beautiful and all. Okay, but why are we assuming like LeBron's not going to take not even the slightest bit of stepping back and saying he's going to be 36 by December of next year?
I mean, we can assume
he's going to be rested a lot next year. Right? I don't think they're getting the first seed. And then we really like this offseason went from what is KD going to do to what is Kawhi going to do. Kawhi is right now he's like the intermediate champion, right? He's the guy that's going to determine what happens in free agency. If Kawhi goes to the Clippers, the Lakers are putting everything on the table to go get Anthony Davis. And even then, I don't think that team is good enough this year to go and win a ring. I don't think this next year is not going to be the Lakers' year. They're going to get to the playoffs. I don't see them going further than maybe the conference finals.
I mean, again, it's this is why we say the league is wide open. Because if the Warriors are in the conference finals, Lakers team with Anthony Davis, and even if LeBron is slower, let's say LeBron is at 28, 8-8. Let's say LeBron is 25. 6 and 7.
That's like regular LeBron numbers right there. I think you gotta understand, like LeBron's gonna be rested a lot next season, bro. Like, and then we gotta see, like, what is Anthony Davis hasn't proven that he could consistently win with underachieving players like LeBron can. He can't. Like Anthony Davis doesn't have that type of pull.
But Anthony Davis never had number one a veteran and leadership in the locker room like LeBron before. Number two, Anthony Davis always played for the poverty-stricken organization.
He's had Rondo, and we saw
it's not Rondo leadership isn't the same as LeBron's leadership.
What's number one? I mean, I understand there's a difference.
There's an on-court like intelligence doesn't lead to you having the personality and the wherewithal to be an actual leader of men. Like Rondo with the X's and O's is like one of the best minds out there. But when it comes to actually getting along and making a team work and being cohesive and working with people that you don't necessarily think should share a floor with you, that's not what Rondo does.
LeBron done a good job of that last year.
LeBron, okay, I think LeBron has a narrative attached to him that he kind of takes over wherever he does, and he's like he doesn't want to work with people. LeBron, like I will say, from what I see, like LeBron does give everyone their due diligence to prove him right or wrong about their assumptions.
Okay, but we look at so let's go to our experiment of LeBron playing off ball. That's clearly not working. He's not a good off ball player. That's another thing that LeBron, I guess, can work on, right?
I mean, he's number one, if we're gonna look at LeBron and say the off ball failure thing was a failure, we have to look at the team and coaching, right? So LeBron not being an off-ball player, if you don't have people that will set you up or can do things with the ball, if him being on the ball leads to more wins than giving the ball to a Brandon Ingram, then that's what they're going to do. Like, I understand, like, I would understand if you're saying, well, Brandon Ingram needs to develop, but the coaching wasn't there. If we're going to look at Luke Walton as a culprit for why the Lakers was one of the reasons why the Lakers weren't successful, you have to look at that and say, okay, if you're not giving the correct play calls, if you're not drawing up the correct scheme, I can't be successful.
So I'm trying to understand what scheme have you seen in LeBron's coach besides Eric Spoelstra have you seen draw up like is an X's and O's guy that LeBron isn't going to be this. You can essentially map out what a LeBron James offense would look like.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, what are you gonna say, Jake?
I can answer both of y'all questions. I think LeBron is a system, right?
Yes.
Like I think LeBron is an offense. Like he himself is like. My dad said something very interesting to me yesterday. He said LeBron James plays like a mixture of Penny Hardaway and Magic Johnson. And if you go look at all of their highlights, it's like legit true. Like I was like, what the hell? It's true. They're an offense. They're the initiators and the distributors and the playmakers of offense. They can just go play basketball and it naturally flows. I've been trying to say for the longest time, I would like LeBron to drop like 40 pounds and become a point guard. Like if we're gonna get rid of Lonzo to get AD, you move him to the one. Like you make him what they want Ben Simmons to be. You put the ball in his hands, make him be the point guard, and then you build a team around him with Anthony Davis being the number one option, and then maybe a third person being another option, and then we build our bench out. Because I think our coaching staff, other than Jason Kidd, has me excited. Frank Vogel isn't terrible. He's a good defensive coach. He has good defensive habits, and Lionel Hollins joining our bench makes me like really, 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 really happy. The wild card is
Jason Kidd.
Is Jason Kidd, like I said. But like if we can get AD and then like LeBron becomes the on the ball guy where he's just distributing the offense, he's not scoring, he is just facilitating. And he's not the like if we trade Lonzo, Kuz, and we can keep like BI, and BI takes a step, and then we get a third star, and then we get AD, those will be our three primary scorers.
So are you conceding that you know that the next year isn't going to be a win, a championship? You guys are not going to be.
Eli, I don't know, just because I really honestly don't know what's happening free agency. Like, bro, I don't know. Like, if you really think about it, the draft is in 6 days. Free agency happens 4 days after that. I don't know. Like, I legit don't know. So, like, literally from now until Thursday, we'll get our answer. But I don't know. As far as LeBron taking a step back, this is the longest he's ever been out. So he's been out from December to March and then played like 10 games in that and then was out. So he's literally had probably from December a break. He hasn't really been in great shape in basketball and he's been kind of injured. So this is the longest break LeBron's ever had in his career. So I don't know what he's going to look like after this. I can only hope that I'm not trying to see the 28, 8, and 8 guy. I would love to see LeBron be like a 21, 10 assist, 6 rebound type of dude. Where AD and then if we go get like Jimmy Butler and then we like keep BI, those guys.
Toronto won't hear that.
No, I know
Butler is a 76er.
Hey, yo, Jerron heard that. I was like, this fuck boy. Like, this.
Yeah. Tobias and Jimmy are 76ers. So I don't know why people keep on saying, oh, he going. No. They stay in Philadelphia.
And it looked like he getting really comfortable.
Where does D'Angelo Russell go this offseason?
The Nets.
No, they're not gonna
I think they moved D'Lo to the 2.
They literally there was an article literally that just came out today saying even if they sign Kyrie, they still plan on bringing D'Lo back.
Yeah,
No,
like they gonna be
on Bleacher Report. They said it's very highly unlikely from the Nets saying that if they sign Kyrie, they're not keeping D'Lo.
Oh, let me find out what source put that article. Because I literally just saw it like an hour ago.
Yeah, their games don't fit. Their games don't fit.
So like that's what I'm saying. I would like LeBron to really just embrace his magic shit. Like be the dude that we know you can be, a facilitator, an initiator of offense. And then in the last 3 minutes when we need you to go be
King James go be King James. Like that's the type of position I've always kind of envisioned LeBron being in the latter half of his career. Like we build a team around him that is good enough to carry the load of the season, be healthy enough to do that, and then get us into the playoffs with a fully rested, healthy LeBron, and then sit back and watch him just work. That's what I hope for. That's the only thing I could really. That is the most optimistic. That's the goal. What I think will end up happening is some type of variation of that might get us to the Western Conference semifinals if we're lucky to the Western Conference finals. If we're really stupid lucky and we have things go the way the Raptors had go this year, we get to the finals.
Wait, Jake, quick little like sidebar question that kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. How did you feel about the Lakers being the Magic earlier, like back 10 years ago? Because
how did I feel about what?
Remember when the Lakers beat the Magic to win the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
And the Magic clearly wouldn't have been there if Kevin Garnett would have never got injured, right? So,
bro, that made me angry because KG was always one of my favorite players. When KG got hurt, I got sick that year. I was sick because I was like, Boston getting either both these teams up out of here. Because if you really think about it, that year the Cavs won 66 games, but they were struggling at the latter half of that year. KG tore his knee up on that stupid. I hate when dudes do this. They jump and they try to block the ball after the damn whistle, and he blows his damn knee out. And I'm like, why did you do that? I was so
KG it's like KG, he still did it even after he injured his.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. But like, yo, man, that changes the NBA. That's KG. Yo, that's one of the most bro. Like, let's be honest, that's one of the most underrated basketball players of all time.
Didn't he win an MVP? I think he's rated. I think he's rated.
But like we'll put power forwards above him. Like I'll put Dirk.
And is it because he has so much time wasting in Minnesota? That's
like Derek, like he really like yo, Derek, like KG is like a walking like. You give me 04 KG and you put him in today's NBA, that's like 30, 15, and like 7.
He's better than Anthony Davis.
Yeah, because he will end up adapting to be Anthony Davis, but better. Yeah, like I'm with you, Eli. Like that 09 Celtics team is the biggest what if. That y'all could have went back to back that year. For real. I'm being serious. Y'all could have went back to back that year. Because it should have, in my opinion, it should have been 3 straight finals of Celtics Lakers. It should have been. That's what the NBA wanted. It just he just had the goddamn jump. Fuck. That made me so mad because it really cut KG's career short. Like it.
Yeah, that was the reason why. Like because KG 2008 was still.
He was defensive player of the year that year. He like led the league in blocks. Like it was nuts. Yeah, he was still that guy, and that he tore his patella tendon, right?
I think he just
it was patella or meniscus. It was like really something bad.
Come back if let's say something somehow scrapped and got past the Magic. Would he have tried to come back?
That's what the plan was. He was trying to rest up.
They shut him down, and they should have, because then they went to the finals the next year. Yeah. But I'm with you, Eli. I'm not I think injuries matter, bro. Like they do. They just do. They do, man. They do.
You still enjoyed that chip though. Huh? You still enjoyed that chip though. Do not lie.
Oh, I would have enjoyed it more when we would have kicked y'all ass, but okay, yeah.
Sick. All right. But okay, let's just go. Let's get this out the way because I know Jerron.
Yo.
What is you guys' plan to keep Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris?
Hookers.
They're gonna have to throw both on the max.
Damn, bro.
Is Tobias Harris a max level guy?
No. Tobias ain't a max level dude. Tobias is like a dude you give like 17, 18 to.
Yeah, but to ensure we keep them, they're gonna have to throw both on the max.
I think Chris Middleton and Tobias Harris are like kind of like the same player. Who I would take in the long term, I'll take Tobias.
I'll take Chris.
I take Tobias because then Tobias
I like-
is younger.
Well, Chris Middleton's better with the ball in his
He's
hands.
a mini, like, as far as like,
Tobias to me is a better shooter.
like a mini Katie.
Like I said, Chris Middleton's better with the ball in his hand. He's a better playmaker. But
Honestly, I have no idea what the Sixers are about to do in this
Yeah,
draft.
man. I think nobody knows what the hell these guys are gonna do, bro.
Trade Ben Simmons. Get that man out of there, bro.
I don't think you can trade Ben Simmons if you
Yeah, man,
don't.
you can't trade Ben Simmons, bro. You just can't.
What value you want to get? What?
Yeah, man.
There's no equal value for Ben Simmons.
There's no that man. Do you truly believe that Ben Simmons is going to get a consistent jump shot?
He didn't even. He just needs a post game.
No, that man. There's something wrong with the way.
No. Hey, yo, what are you trading? What are you trading for Ben Simmons then? Like, what are you getting back?
I mean, Ben Simmons is in a position where he be one of the best like assets to trade for because
I know
Ben
it
Simmons.
sounds a little bit weird, but I would see if I could go to the Kings and be like, "So can we get De'Aaron Fox?
We get De'Aaron, Buddy.
Man, the Kings would be snorting massive amounts of crack cocaine if they traded the Aaron Fox for Ben Simmons.
No, but
I
you
would
already know how people
Hype if that happened.
bro. He's supposed to be the heir apparent to LeBron.
Is it Ben Simmons is this his first All-Star or is he a two-time
Man,
All-Star?
Ben
No,
Simmons.
it's his first All-Star.
Oh, yo, I saw a tweet that said Ben Simmons is just Terrence Jones with the handle.
I promise you, that Indian owner for the Kings, he was like, they're offering you as Ben Simmons? Bro,
Yo, Ben Simmons gotta fight.
the full
He gotta fight the person that tweeted that. You gotta fight him. That's disrespect. Ben Simmons is not bad. He just can't shoot. Everything that's the thing, Eli. That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't give up
It's
on him.
not only that he
He's
can't
really
shoot.
good. He's really good defensively. He can pass his ass off. He's a good facilitator.
Okay, so
He just
he's
can't do the one thing in
That's most
2019,
important in basketball.
2020 basketball, which is put the ball in the basket. He can't
It's
do
not
that.
the fact that he can't shoot. His level of can't shoot is everybody would literally pack the paint and give him. Here's the thing about Giannis can't shoot and Ben Simmons can't shoot. Giannis, if you leave him open enough time, he'll make one of those shots. Ben Simmons literally has to stop his whole flow of anything that he's doing. Think about him. Actually, his set shot is literally him like attempting to go for a free throw. It's not like he can just go into a jumper. He has to stop everything that he's doing.
Do we know that?
Yes,
We've seen him.
No,
We've seen him.
we never. No, because Ben Simmons don't even think about shooting. I haven't seen Ben Simmons put enough reps up to say that. Ben Simmons don't shoot at all.
I understand
Yeah,
it was
I
but have you not seen that video of Ben Simmons? They're letting him shoot threes. Have you not seen that video?
What, in practice or?
That was the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life from a
But
player.
Eli, we talking about practice, man. Not the game, but practice.
Why is him shooting in
We
practice
talking
like
about
that?
practice, bro. Practice.
He's not getting a jump shot. I'm
Jake,
sorry to
that
spoil it.
reference is a little dated for him.
I understand that reference. I
But it's
understand.
practice, bro.
Not the game.
Not the
Not
game.
the game.
Not the game that I love playing. But we talking about practice.
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 Anyway, that's
I'm
it.
so
I haven't
old
seen him.
saying
I haven't
that. I
seen,
feel so old doing that. Ew.
but I haven't seen
old.
Ben Simmons put up enough jump shots to tell you how he shoots. Like
Jerron, that's a serious problem.
That's
Dude,
an incredible.
it is. No, I'm not saying it's not a problem. It's just,
Jerron, Lonzo.
Ben Simmons literally. Lonzo and Ben Simmons not the same thing.
No,
Lonzo.
that's the problem. There.
Lonzo
Jerron,
shoots.
that's the problem, bro. Like Lonzo will shoot
Yes, he will.
and brick.
Yeah.
You don't.
Ben Simmons is like, I'm not even gonna put it
Okay,
up.
so basically, what you're saying to me is Lonzo can build a brick house, but like Ben Simmons gonna be homeless because he don't got no bricks.
Yeah, exactly.
cheap.
First of all, Lonzo is an okay shooter. He's not even terrible.
Lonzo will improve on his shooting as his career progresses.
Because he'll take the shots.
Yeah, because he actually takes the shots.
That's a problem.
Ben Simmons, I promise you that.
Y'all keep on saying it's a problem. I know it's a problem. It's my problem with Ben Simmons. Is that he doesn't do it. He doesn't even try.
If I see Ben Simmons next year or in the next 3 years pulling up fluently, I will stop watching. I will not watch a single Celtics basketball game, regular season or playoffs, for a whole year.
Yo, Eli, that's a bullshit.
That's straight cap.
That's a whole ass bullshit.
Because I know it's not going to
Hey
happen.
man, you might want to change that.
No,
Just
because I know it's not going to happen, bro.
That's
I
straight
can't
cap.
see Ben Simmons.
I just want bet on that. I just no.
That's all
No.
cap.
You will be sick to your stomach if they a team that can go to the championship and win.
I will do it in a heartbeat.
Okay. I just wouldn't be that person because Ben Simmons is so talented that I think he can get it figured out. But I think it's coaching too. I think it's just not.
Yeah, Brett Brown got it.
It's
Yeah,
coaching too, bro.
it's coaching.
It's coaching too, bro.
If he was so talented, the Raptors wouldn't have been enough. Like he's the reason why they're not where they need to be as far
No,
as
Joel Embiid is.
He's the reason.
Joel Embiid is the reason.
Overweight,
Bro, you're capping.
out of shape, always hurt, talks too much center that they have.
No, because Joel Embiid has to be the spot up 5 because his point guard can't shoot.
Nah, Joel Embiid wants to be the spot up.
no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, that's that. No, Derek is semi right on that
Joel
because
Embiid or Ben
Joel
Simmons.
Embiid does have to play outside more because Ben Simmons can't be out there.
Because if Joel Embiid's in the paint, Ben Simmons has nowhere to be.
Like,
Brett, but that's coaching. Brett Brown doesn't know what to do with Ben Simmons. He just says like, "Yo, just stay right here. Stay by the rim."
Trash. Ben Simmons, I do not care. That man needs. If you guys want any chance of doing anything with your very well constructed roster, you need to find something to do with Ben Simmons.
I don't even think their roster that well constructed. They
I'm gonna say like,
yeah,
please
like
tell
Eli,
me
what
where
you talking about, bro? Like they paying JJ Redick.
If you give Mike Budenholzer to that team, you don't think they beat the Raptors?
Yo, they paying JJ Redick way too much money. Get switched on to Kawhi too much. No,
Okay, JJ Redick
no,
will get
do y'all understand? If we lose Jimmy and Tobias, we don't have much anything.
I mean,
But you wouldn't be worried, right? If Jimmy and Tobias left, if Ben Simmons could shoot, right? You wouldn't be worried at all because he's practically LeBron at that point. If he could even shoot just a tiny, if he could shoot Giannis level type shooting, Jesus freaking Christ, Ben Simmons, you got it. You have it. He can't even do that. I don't expect him to when he shoots to hit rim. That man lacks any ability to put the ball up, bro.
Outside the paint.
He has a serious problem.
He does,
shooting.
and he needs to work on it. Hopefully,
yeah,
he
like
does.
that's the only. But Eli, that's the only solution, my man. Like it's for him to work on it.
The thing,
I bet his first shot. Yo, it'll be crazy if his first shot next season is a 3-pointer and that thing is just wet.
Okay, Jake, you got to think about
if it's something like Ray Allen, like I'll be like, oh my god, who did he meet with this offseason?
You got to think about. I think the reason why Eli is so in battle about this. Okay, technically, this is Ben Simmons' third year in the league. He's going into his 4th. He had a redshirt year his first year, right?
I mean, do we have that same excuse for Blake Griffin? Because nobody talks about this when we talk about Blake Griffin. So we're not going to talk about it for Blake Griffin. Then we ain't going to talk about it for Ben Simmons. So keep the same energy. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
Player Blake Griffin has turned himself into.
I was like, wait, I was so confused. Blake ain't in his 4th year, right? Like I'm not tripping, right?
No, I'm saying when we talk about Blake Griffin, nobody talks about
like what the fuck?
No, when we talk about Blake Griffin, nobody ever brings up the fact that he sat a year.
I was like, wait, Blake got that many injuries in 4 years?
No. Jake,
I
you
was
stupid.
like, wait, I swear he's with the Clippers, like 6 of them shits. Like, okay,
No.
all
What
right.
I'm saying is,
Oh
when
man,
we
you
talk about Blake Griffin. Nobody talks about him not playing that first year. We just go on. We talk about a rookie year, and this is his
but
rookie year.
but
We don't
that
talk
was
about how he sat out that first year.
Ben Simmons had a year to really because like Blake eventually turned. By the time Blake was like,
but Ron, he did have a way more serious injury than
I mean, he did, but
He
they
tore
were
his
they
ACL.
were both injured though.
That's true.
So,
That's true. That's true.
My thing with Ben Simmons is that his confidence has been built up so much by the greats in this game that I don't think he has the worth ethic in his head to go and create a jump shot that's I don't think it's feasible enough for him to reach the he's like the Gohan of the NBA. He has so much like potential because of his height and the way that he plays the game as a playmaker, but you can't give him so much confidence and be like it's all good up until he gets like he got exposed so much mentally as like not being able to shoot the ball. I think that's something that will affect him for the rest of his career.
well,
I don't
all right, you must say you haven't heard me and Jake talk, but that's my major problem with Ben Simmons, that his ego too big. And I think that, and I don't think that's just from the greats. I think that happened in LSU. From LSU up, his ego is just too big because, like you said, everybody praises him for being the next great, and which is hindering him from working harder like he needs to. Because
you know what I'll say about Ben Simmons? I think it was one of you guys mentioned him getting a post game. If let's say they wanted to be like, you know what, Ben, okay, this just jump shot thing's not going to work out for you. You could still be a playmaker, but you can be a playmaker coming out the post. So like more of like a Nikola Jokic, but more in like he's
more athletic, quicker.
No. Yeah, that. But like he's not. He doesn't need to pass the ball at the top of the key. It's not like an outward.
That's not possible because if you want Joel Embiid to take the next step, he needs to be the guy down low. You can't have dudes in the post.
Way down low.
You don't think they could do something similar to what
unless Ben works out of the elbow
and
Ben works on the and Embiid works on the post, they both can't be in the post.
I'd much rather have Joel Embiid.
Because the thing about what the Pelicans did last year, both Anthony Davis and Marcus Morris can shoot the ball. So that Twin Tower setup worked because one of those guys can spot up or one of those guys can be at the key. Like it would work because you couldn't sag off one of them. If Ben Simmons is at the top of the key or the top of the circle, you're not going to guard him seriously. You'd have to put his back into you. So then Joel Embiid, who can kind of spot up, that setup would be kind of hard.
I don't know. I mean, like,
just Ben just got to shoot, bro. Just shoot.
Because
even if it's ugly as hell, shoot.
I just do not see it. This is literally what we're going to see next year. Whether it's with Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris or not, it's going to be something like Ben Simmons gets up to half court. They already have the defense ready for him. He's going to pass it off to whoever's on the freaking team.
Play a whole box and
he's going to sit in the corner. They're going to be playing 4 and 5 unless he cuts to the rim.
They're going to play a whole box and one in the middle against Ben Simmons, and then Ben Simmons won't be able to do anything. That's essentially that's like the whole. You don't even need to build the wall anymore. Let's play the box and one.
Like, think about it. Rondo can't shoot for his life. He cannot shoot for his life. He's so much smaller than Ben Simmons. His playmaking ability might be a tick over, a tick right there with him, or a tick under him. And he's been so effective. You know why? Because he's willing to shoot the ball at times. And he's able to get to the rim. And back when he was in his prime, he was able to get to the rim and make plays by himself if he had to. There's been games where Rondo has been able to go out and get 40 at times, right? Mm-hmm. I don't see that same mentality with Ben Simmons. It's just that he plays so nonchalant, and I feel like if the game doesn't go his way from jump, it's like he's more so of okay, I'm gonna let Joel Embiid take care of this. You know what I mean? He doesn't have. It would have been different if he had all the talent and he just didn't have that mentality because that's something that could just be overcome. All Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant, he doesn't necessarily have that mentality, but he's so gifted and talented that doesn't matter. Ben Simmons is coming out the gate without a jump shot, and he already has a mentality of like he's getting paid $30-40 million a year. So I don't, and they're gonna pay him that money because his name is Ben Simmons, but I don't know. That something has to be moved. It's either you move Joel or you move Ben. You build around Ben Simmons, give him a bunch of shooters, try to keep Jimmy Butler in them and see what happens, or you move Ben Simmons and actually go for a run, because at this I don't see it next year.
What are you moving Ben Simmons for?
Like I said, like you could use his name, and because he's still highly thought of as one of he was an all-star this year. I don't think he was meant to be an all-star this year, but nevertheless, he's an all-star this year because they're trying to push him. If you could get a team that's stupid enough, which there's a lot of stupid teams out there, to give you one of their future talents as in the point guard position that could shoot, then I think that you guys have I think you guys are, in my opinion, you guys would be the favorites to go to the finals.
Hey, Jerron, I know this sounds really, 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 really crazy. If you can get Ben off the team and sign D'Angelo Russell, I'll do it. I do it.
That's an instant NBA Finals berth right there.
I'll do it. If you keep everybody else, I do it.
Or because if you could trade Ben Simmons, the value would get back. You could
trade him for picks.
No, you don't even need picks. Just go get like a solid stable of like either really good role players and picks. So like you could have the same bench you had last year.
Because it's like you could really roll like the 76ers. They could go try to roll the dice and see, okay, let's see if we could go get a Mike Conley and see if we could go win right now. Because this is the league is wide open right now. It is wide open. The Raptors, they won this year. They're not world beaters though. We know they're not world beaters. They can be beaten. All right, go for it. I think
the Grizzlies are not trading Mike Conley because they don't need a point guard. They have to draft one.
So wait. Okay, number one, you could. They might not trade for Ben Simmons, but that doesn't mean the Grizzlies won't trade Mike Conley.
Yeah, they did not trade. Okay, they're going to trade him, but they're not trading him to the Sixers for Ben Simmons because they don't need Ben Simmons. They're about to draft Ja Morant.
It was just a name to throw out there. You know what I mean? Like you could go to the.
Because I've heard that trade many times, but it makes no sense because they literally about to draft the point guard of the future.
I mean. Shit. I mean,
and you can't. And since Ben can't shoot, you can't put him at the 3. So
it's gonna be a very rocky ending for like unless Ben Simmons can miraculously just get this jump shot thing down within this summer or next summer.
Because technically, this is the way you got to look at it too. Whichever team has Ben Simmons starting from this year, you still have another 6 years of Ben Simmons at least because he has to re-up. He's not going to go and sit out. He's going to sign his extension to get his money. So you're going to have 6 years of Ben Simmons. And, you can delude yourself into thinking you're the team with the good shot doctor. To like a lot of teams will delude themselves. Like my brother said, you could find a lot of stupid NBA teams like, we got the guy. Look what he did with our second round pick. Now he shoots 38% from the three. And we can get Ben Simmons to get a jump. But you're gonna have those teams.
The only team that can make Ben Simmons have a jump shot is Spurs. Whoever worked on Kawhi's jump shot is the only person that can help Ben Simmons.
Kawhi is like you got to think. Kawhi and Giannis have that mentality of
shit. That's a team I send him to.
San Antonio.
I do it straight up for DeMar DeRozan.
No, stop. I'm going to bed. Oh, you can throw out the.
I thought y'all would get a kick out of that one.
Can I get Murray too, and then it might be able to work.
Nah, I really think that if you put D'Lo I really think Jerron that D'Lo on y'all team minus Ben Simmons would be yikes. It would be nasty, bro. It would be disgusting. And you resigned Tobias and Jimmy.
That only works if we resign both of them.
That's a big yikes. Y'all are killing people.
They'll be like, you betrayed us.
Well, hold on. They're betraying D'Lo by signing Kyrie.
The Nets are not going to make. Oh, you know how happy I would be if the Nets don't make the playoffs next year, bro. Be like, look at your dumbasses, bro. Like what?
Yo,
Oh my god! Like Kyrie.
hey yo, Derek and Eli. It's time for y'all team to get this work. What's up with the Celtics, bro?
Bro, what are y'all? Yo, bro, y'all might be trash next year.
Derek, Derek, what did I tell you last year about Danny Ainge acquiring these picks and now they all ass?
Man,
we're not worried. Listen, we're not worried at all. Because here's my thing. All right. Regardless of whatever happens with this Kyrie Irving thing, I hope he leaves. All right. I don't think he's good for this team.
Y'all really hate this man.
We don't hate him. We just don't think he's a fit.
He's not a fit, and his personality is really an issue. Him and Brad Stevens, the way that I saw Kyrie Irving play against the Bucks shows me that there is not that much more he could do by himself. Like the Bucks, that was a perfect opportunity to show he's arrived as a superstar in this league, right? Okay, you get shut down for game 1 and game 2. Right?
He got shut down in game 2. Going forward, game 1 he was fantastic.
He was okay. So how are you going to respond? That man has not responded not once, not once at all in that series.
Played the same way, took no accountability. Said I should have shot more, and that just shows number one.
He played worse down the stretch.
He was checked out, right? He basically said, "I don't really care. I'm going to try to pad my stats. I don't care about the outcome. I don't care about playing better. I don't care about learning from this. I just want to get these games out of the way and be as nonchalant as possible." And that's just not the personality that can really jive with Boston. Like in Boston,
like that does not slide in Boston. We don't.
It's
we do not give up in games. Like that's the thing that blew me the most about this year being a Celtics fan. I don't remember in my whole entire life of watching Boston Celtics basketball, there has never been a point up until this year where I can look at a game and I can be like, yeah, we have no hope. Besides us tanking that one year, I could not have looked at a game and been like, okay, yeah, it's over. In the second quarter, there was like no sense of like Celtics heart. Like when you watch a Celtics game, we could be down by 18. We could be down by a lot going into the fourth quarter, and you would have hope that we would be able to cut down that lead because we're prideful, right?
We're prideful. We're well coached, and we are a team.
That was not anything that we were this year. And you could put it's not all the blame is not on Kyrie Irving. I'm not putting all the blame on Kyrie Irving.
Yes, I will say Kyrie Irving was just in a situation, and he was just a bit overwhelmed. I don't think Kyrie really understood the implications of what it meant to have his own team. And I think Kyrie Irving's way of leadership, maybe it worked somewhere else. It just didn't work here.
He thinks he's fucking Kobe. He's not Kobe, bro. Like,
don't tell Jake about that. Jake will tell you. Jake has a book of players that need to stop talking to Kobe Bryant. And like Kyrie Irving is is on the cover.
Oh my God,
Jason Tatum should be on that cover too.
Yes, Derek. Delete his number. Avoid him. You are not Mamba. Stop getting that shit tattooed on you. Stop saying Mamba and mentality in the same sentence. Delete his number. Burn his shoes. If you got like those ugly Kobe Adidas in the 2002s, get rid of them shits. Get rid of his Reeboks. Get rid of it all. Purge him
Nike
from
shoes
your
are fire.
system. Purge him from your system. Nothing. Yo, okay, Derek, think about this. What good has come from a player that has played like Kobe Bryant other than Kobe Bryant? I'll wait.
As far as winning, nothing.
Yeah.
My point exactly.
I mean, but no.
Buddy Hield's like Buddy doesn't play Kobe though.
He doesn't play like Kobe though. He just shoots.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's some elements to his game that vaguely remind you of Kobe. It's not.
but his whole total package isn't Kobe.
Mhm. And Buddy Hill has sniffed the playoffs. Coincidence? I think not.
No. This year they sniffed the playoffs.
No, he hasn't made it. He hasn't played a playoff minute in the NBA.
Oh, that's
Like, okay, but yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna 100% full blame Kyrie Irving. I just look at this situation for the Celtics, right? Even if Kyrie Irving wanted to come back, which he doesn't, Anthony Davis comes. If we don't win a ring, then we just lose. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or both of them, and any other assets we have for a year of
contendership.
Of
We're already at. We're already at.
and then we have an aging Al Horford. We have a Gordon Hayward that we may or may not get rid of, and a Kyrie Irving who, coincidentally, the year before didn't want to be there.
And let me say this about Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, he will be Gordon Hayward next year. Like, let's not get this thing twisted. Like, that man turned his whole foot around. All right, that's traumatic. That man, it took him a full year to get him back to like with any type of injury that's that catastrophic for him to feel normal. Coming into this next year, he doesn't need to work. Oh, I pray Kyrie leaves. And Terry got to go too. He doesn't have to worry about those two ball dominant players being there. And he's shown glimpses of the player that he can be for us.
Coincidentally, it was mostly when Kyrie Irving wasn't on.
Yeah, I wasn't really worried about Hayward. I figured he would just come back the same way Paul George did. It took him a full season, and then the next season he was back to being Paul George. So
Paul George, we gotta give a caveat though. Paul George has been a great player. He's just kind of morphed this game so he can be a more outside player. Like Paul George is much more of a Skywalker dunking on type of guy, and now he still kind of does that, but he's just a way better jump shooter.
So essentially, like a small forward version of Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
but just a lot more shooting guard.
I'm not comparing their game. I'm comparing their injuries. Like I figured Gordon Hayward would be himself back the second year.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm still here.
Yo, did Derek just...
Did he die? Did he get sniped? Google sniped him?
I think they just got sniped, bro.
Yeah, I think Google sniped him.
Wow.
Tragic.
That's unfortunate.
I mean,
but yeah,
they should
the
be coming
Celtics
back
are
soon.
Yeah, they're no.
Yeah, the Celtics, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
like I don't know what they're about to
not
do.
in a good position, bro. Like
they're really not.
They're not. Like they say they're fine. I'm just saying, man. Like
they don't like Kyrie and they don't want Rozier, so they have no point guard now. Like
then from Derek and Eli's mouth, they tell me that they can't pick up free agents. So it's like you really gonna be really wing heavy. So it's gonna be Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Gordon Hayward and Al Horford. I mean,
yeah, Marcus Morris.
Yeah, like good luck with that, man. Like,
I don't know. Are you gonna sign a point guard? Or are you gonna draft one? But
yeah, I have no clue.
I don't know what Danny Ainge is cooking up in the offices, but we'll see. But that's why I'm really hoping the 76ers can re-sign Tobias and Jimmy, because if Kawhi leaves and the Celtics stay trash, hey, the 76ers have a good chance to get to the finals. We just had to get past Giannis. But I
don't even think that's the person you gotta get past, Jerron. Okay. I think they're gonna come back in. I don't think that's the person you gotta get past. If Kawhi stays, that's the team to beat.
That's why I said if Kawhi leaves, then all you gotta do is get past Giannis. Oh yeah. If Kawhi stays, then of course you gotta get past.
Now y'all gotta beat those two. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the East does with their free agencies with those 4 teams. It's going to be really, really interesting. The thing for the Celtics to me is they are the person that I would like to see D'Lo Like I think D'Lo with Jaylen Brown with
Do they have enough money for that?
they were gonna give Kyrie the max. I mean, he was
Yeah,
going.
they had his bird rights though.
That's true.
I don't know what their cap's looking like, but I know they have Kyrie's bird rights, so they can sign him over the cap. They would have to literally. They don't have any rights to D'Lo, so they would have to. It would affect their cap directly. So I don't know if they have enough money to do that. Because didn't they give Gordon Hayward a max?
Yes, they did.
And then how much is Al Horford making?
20 something.
The only thing that helps him is that isn't Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both on rookie contracts?
Yes.
And then I know Marcus Morris can't be making that much, so they might have the money for it. They could have the money for it. They could sign D'Lo. They should. Let me see. Let me Google that. How much cap space do the Celtics have? Boston Celtics cap space. Let's see. Next year, Gordon Hayward making 32.7. Al Horford's gonna be making 30.
Jesus.
Marcus Smart is making 12. Jason Tatum's going to be making 7.8. Jaylen Brown 6.5. How much cap space it leaves him? Let's see. Oh, I guess if they don't sign Kyrie, they do have 20 mil left, so that they can use. So I guess they could, they could sign D'Lo. But Al Horford actually has a player option. No, I don't see him turning it down, but Al Horford could technically leave too if he wants to.
No, he's not. He's like a 30-some-year-old.
I don't see him turning it down, but he could.
Yeah.
Damn,
I think Al Horford gonna be one of them dudes to get with a veteran team after next year.
Yeah.
And like get the vet minimum and try to go get rings that way.
Actually, in terms of cap space, the Celtics aren't that bad. Actually.
Yeah, no, they're not bad. It's just, they just got to use it correctly.
Because after next year, they're going to have to re-sign. Well, no, they don't have to re-sign Tatum. He still got one more year left. They have to re-sign Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why next year they have to like make a decision on him. Well, this year he has to play well. So,
yeah.
I don't think the Celtics going to be bad, but they're not in a good position at all, though. Like
they'll still make the playoffs, but if they lose Kyrie and they don't sign anybody spectacular, then they're gonna be really hurting. Because your starting point guard is literally gonna be Marcus Smart.
Can y'all hear us?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
We were just shitting on your team. That's it.
Yeah.
You can go back and listen to it. We were not very favorable.
Well, I mean, yeah, like obviously we're gonna be in a bind if we're gonna be in a bind if we don't have Kyrie. But like obviously that's a lot. Any team that loses their best player, they're not gonna have a replacement level guy. Now just step in. Like obviously we're gonna need a new point guard if we get rid of Terry.
Jake was just saying about D'Lo.
I think D'Lo will make a really good. He'd
be like a hard to say, but an even less athletic version of Kyrie, a slightly worse, like shooter. Like Kyrie's one of the best shot makers.
But I don't think D'Lo gonna be I can't say he won't be a pain in your ass, considering that he tried to sneak marijuana inside of an Arizona can. But,
bruh.
I don't. Just when we thought he had turned the corner,
he's just like I don't think
like 22, and
yeah, like he's dumb. That was extremely dumb. Like you can't bring liquids on an airplane anyway. I don't know if that was. I don't know. Like I just don't know.
The problem with the whole situation was he was flying from Brooklyn to Louisville. He's from Louisville.
So you couldn't get to Louisville
It hit up a connect.
and hit up a connect for the Loud? Louisville, Kentucky? I know they got some Loud there, bro. What we doing? That's all I'm saying, man.
Man,
I
It's
think
a
we're getting rid of y'all team though. I really think so. Like if y'all get rid of Terry Rozier, you get rid of honestly, Derek, y'all know who y'all really should be going after, bro? Malcolm Brogdon, bro.
That's not a bad idea. It's just his name. It's just he doesn't look like
player portrait.
Yeah, it's not. That's not a bad idea. It's just,
but they're not with the Bucks. If the Bucks don't get Malcolm Brogdon the biggest bag, they're not going to keep
on. Complete our version of being the Spurs of the East at that point. As soon as that trade goes down, it's like, yeah, we're practically the Spurs, this Eastern Conference. He's like the perfect Spurs player, like the stereotypical Spurs player.
Yeah, like I think Malcolm Brogdon with D'Lo, you add that with the guys y'all already have, I think y'all squad would be actually nice. I still think one of them dudes got to move to the bench. Like one of those three, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, or Gordon Hayward, got to be the sixth man. So
I think Jaylen Brown could play shooting guard.
No, Jaylen Brown's y'all starting two guard. He's going to play.
I think Gordon Hayward could play the four.
No, Derek, he's not going to play the four. Y'all need a damn center, man. Y'all need to go after Dwight. So y'all can move. So y'all can move. You can move Al Horford to his true position, which is power forward. Y'all can't tell me y'all don't need a center. At least go after JaVale McGee or DeAndre Jordan.
The long clip.
I was hearing bits about Clint.
Clint. The guy that's better than the White.
Who, Clint Capella? Trade for him.
No, his deal's too big. I'm not trying to max salaries for that. I mean,
man, the Rockets ain't about to trade nobody on that team. They see the Warriors depleted. They're like, next year is our year. We keep staring at them.
They're gonna get their ass smacked by the Phoenix Suns.
I think they could. Let's say they were to go and sit down with Jimmy Butler, right? And they're like, "Listen, we'll get Clint Capella the fuck up on out of here. We just need a. Let's sign you to a 2-year and then 1-year player option, just to get you. This is. We got a shot to win a ring here." And then they go and they replace Clint Capella with some generic center that they can just throw lobs to. They're straight. Because Clint Capella, he's a great guy. I think he's a good human being, but it's he would not have got that contract if he wasn't playing with James Harden and Chris Paul. They're literally, his contract is just, hey, catch lobs for me, just throw it down, and just stand in the paint area and resemble what
a rim protector is, but don't block shots. Don't worry about that too much.
He's not him and Rudy Gobert. They go at it, but he's not a Rudy Gobert. His game doesn't I'm telling you, I would do that so easily. I would just be like, "Yo, listen, Jimmy.
Jimmy's not gonna go there though. Jimmy's not gonna pay cut. I
mean, if you get
Jimmy going for that bag, fam, that's why he's going to be on the 76ers.
Gordon Hayward should have stayed his ass in Utah. That's what should have happened.
Should have, but then he's a Celtic. But I bet Utah would love him back.
They really
absolutely
would.
They would love him.
They would welcome him back with open arms. Finally, give Mitchell some help.
Donovan Mitchell. That's a whole different story for a different day. Donovan Mitchell was just 3 for 24.
I think he's at his cap.
In a playoff game.
I think he's at his cap. I think this is as good as he's gonna get.
Well, I don't think that.
It's just a
hell no, Derek.
He's not.
Hell no,
bro. What can he do? What do you think he's going to be able to do better next year than
Derek, he's relying on Joe Ingles. He's relying on Joe Ingles to get 15 points per game.
Huh?
You lied on Joe Ingles to be his second leading scorer, dog. Like,
And
no.
Joe was getting down. That's crazy.
Like when like
Rudy Gobert is trash.
Whoa. What?
Yes,
What?
Derek. He's the most overrated player in the NBA. First of all, he gets eaten alive when he plays Clint Capella. He eats him alive. Second, I've seen Rudy Gobert get punked so many times against teams in which they don't have a center, and his defense is nowhere to be seen. And then third, and most importantly, man, nobody gives a fuck that you didn't make no goddamn All-Star game, you big crybaby. Okay? Don't cry in front of these people. At least make it to the parking lot. Get in your car and then you cry. Do what Draymond did after Game 7 of 2016. You cry to KD then. Nobody cares about no damn Rudy Gobert. I can't even believe this man is like really mentioned as a Defensive Player of the Year award. Like, it's seriously like sickening.
I've seen him have some pretty.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why
Yeah, he ain't that trash in defense.
Rudy Gobert is just Roy Hibbert with an accent.
I think Rudy Gobert is just he just caught some bad flack. It's like
he got
whenever he sees Steph Curry, he just sees his life flash before his eyes. He's about to be put in a damn blender, bro. Like it's like as soon as
he really does not help their defense out in the West because they play a whole bunch of really good point guards and guards who are really good on the pick and roll, and he's a sitting duck.
I'll say this. I think Rudy Gobert. I think before the Rockets were the Rockets, I think there was a place for him in the league. But as soon as Chris Paul and James Harden sat down and started watching the film, they're like, "Wait, we could just get him like this." As soon as they started, they're like, "Okay, just Chris Paul's like, okay, get over here. This is what we're gonna do. Just throw mad lobs to they literally just how the Celtics gave a blueprint on how to guard Ben Simmons. It was how to beat the Utah Jazz. That was literally the point of creating the Rockets. They're the Jazz beaters. That's all they're useful for, to beat the Utah Jazz.
Hey y'all.
And Daryl Morey.
Hey y'all. Bleacher Report just put on Twitter that the Pacers are trying to go after D'Lo.
That's a no. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. You put D'Lo.
First round exit.
No. You put D'Lo and Victor Oladipo in the same backcourt.
Ooh, that is a great second round exit, bro. That's
First round exit.
that is an exciting 6 games.
I feel like y'all hate it.
Derek, y'all some assholes. Y'all are some real dickheads right now. No, for real. Y'all are some assholes. Y'all acting like that was. Hold on. Okay, they have Miles Turner.
They'll beat the Celtics though.
Think about this. They have Miles Turner. Who's good.
That's where
Yo, draw. You see what I'm saying? You see his arrogance.
They'll beat the Celtics.
Yeah, they do.
Celtics. If we still had Kyrie, they're beating us. We're not gonna have Kyrie next year, so we have nothing to worry about.
Yo, you see this, bro?
The Kyrie slander is ridiculous. You know what?
Yo, you hear this, bro?
Bro, I'm done.
Miles Turner,
their best player, their best big man comes off the bench, and then they said Miles Turner.
Sabonis. Who?
Hey, wait. Miles Turner don't come off the bench.
Miles Turner is better than
I said
Sabonis.
the best big man comes off the bench, and you said Miles Turner.
They're the Clippers East.
Like Sabonis is better than Miles Turner. He's been better than Miles Turner.
No. Chill.
Yeah, chill. Like, no one's saying Miles Turner is better than Sabonis.
Do you realize Miles Turner was top 5 in rebounds and number 1 in blocks this year?
Yes, that's cool. That's cute. He's like Rudy Gobert, but uglier.
Miles Turner has the offense, sir.
He could
What the fuck is Derek talking
No,
about? What the fuck are you talking? Like, what did Miles Turner take your bitch, bro? Like, I'm trying to
Take a shot.
I'm trying to say, yo, like, what is up?
Stop. It's
Y'all really acting like D'Lo would not help that team.
He would help them win 2 games against.
He'll help him way more than Tyreke Evans did.
Yeah, Tyreke Evans, like, is he banned? Or
He's banned, bro. He's banned.
The fuck?
That man was doing those hard drugs.
Okay.
Hey,
That
yo,
man had that coke.
nah, man. I think Tyreke Evans was doing that fentanyl, bro. He was doing synthetic. Like, he was going to Balco Labs down in Miami, like, injected straight in my veins, bro.
Cause it was no weed. They don't ban you for weed.
Yeah, they don't
man.
ban you for that. Like,
He-
Eric Bledsoe every offseason get caught on Instagram with the pack under his seat when he be playing 2K.
Yo, one podcast, we really need to talk about Eric Bledsoe against the Raptors because that man was trash.
He let Kyle Lowry do that.
No, this man, I literally saw Eric Bledsoe run the same way 3 times in a row and miss the layup 3 times in a row. Like, Eric, what are you doing? And then to make up for it, he just went to the 3-point line and shot a 3 that he hasn't made. Like what are you doing?
I just want to go back to a time where it was simpler, where we were slandering the Raptors for losing to the Magic.
When Kyle Lowry dropped those 0 points.
Yo, man.
Okay, let me ask y'all this, right? Let's just wrap this. Let's wrap this up. Let's just go over our top either 2 or 4 teams in each conference going into next year, assuming moves. All right. So I'll give y'all mine. I think the best team in the Eastern Conference will be a tie. It'll be a 1A, 1AB between the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers.
Stop.
Right.
Stop.
So then your third team will probably be either a Celtics, assuming we make some moves, or the Pacers. And then
Where the fuck the Raptors? Wait, hold on.
I'm assuming that Kawhi leaves.
Kawhi leaves. Yeah, I already knew. That.
Wait,
yeah.
Wait, is there a number greater than 1 in this category? I was like, where the Raptors at? Okay, all right.
If Kawhi leaves the Raptors, then the whole East changes.
And then,
hey, yo, I'm just gonna go out on a limb. If he leaves the Raptors, they're not a playoff team.
Yes,
yeah, cool. They'll get smacked.
No,
it's the East, Jake. It's the East. They're making the playoffs.
I really, honestly don't think they're a playoff team.
You don't think Pascal Siakam could lead them to,
No, I think Pascal Siakam's that dude. It's Kyle Lowry that scares me. You put more pressure on him? Oh Jesus!
No. They can make the 7-6, 7 seed.
Nah, D'Lo up there.
Nah, man.
All right. So
I love how D'Lo is the answer to everybody's problems.
Oh man, the Knicks are coming, bro.
The who?
You said the Knicks?
The Knicks are coming.
The Knicks are what? Okay, so like let's do this thought experiment. So when they don't get AD
and they re-sign Carmelo Anthony
and they don't get KD,
yeah.
But they said, but we got something even better. Melo's back.
Hey, they got RJ Barrett though.
When their starting lineup reads for your New York Knicks,
Dennis Smith Jr.,
RJ Barrett, Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee's in Dallas.
That's crazy.
Alonzo Trier.
It's gonna be Mario Hazonia.
Mitchell Robinson. Wait, where are the superstars? Kemba re-signed. Oh,
Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
signed 5-year, something hundreds of millions of dollar deal.
AD didn't get traded here because our trade package is absolute garbage.
We fucked up the draft lottery. We got fucked over. We couldn't get no Zion.
Our
So,
superstar we had, we traded.
Yeah.
but we did get Tobias Harris.
Oh no.
Y'all
Box
some
on
dicks.
TP.
Yo, did y'all see those memes on Twitter where it was a picture of Melo and Jeremy Lin? And it was like, oh, all this time he finally did it. Jeremy Lin finally got a ring. I was like, y'all hating.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember, bruh, they pick and choose, bruh. They pick and choose.
Y'all was hating. They was hating on
Pick
Melo,
and
boy.
choose who they hate.
Remember
Who's
when-
gonna be the butt of the joke? Damn. So no Raptors in the top 4? That's crazy.
I don't think
If Kawhi leaves, no.
yeah, if Kawhi comes back, then you gotta take you gotta bump everyone down in that list by one and just put the Raptors on the top.
Crazy.
And then
Yeah, sharp elbow.
and then
And DeMar better get traded back.
yeah, and then in the West, the West is really the interesting conference. What is interesting, the most interesting thing to me is the Denver Nuggets. And if Michael Porter comes back healthy, that team is going to have to get rid of somebody to make room for him. Because he was supposed to be like a top 3 type of player. Like if Michael Porter Jr. was in this draft, like he'd probably go number 2 if he was healthy.
Number 1.
Yeah. No,
And
Zion's
Zion's
good now.
so like you would take
Of height. Yeah, I guess.
but like so yeah, if he is there, he's being he's effective. He's a great chip to trade if you need to, or if he's a guy you think you can build around with Jokic, then you can get rid of some guys that can really help people. So I think Gary Harris or
Jamal Murray. I would Jacob Love and Jamal Murray.
No, who's their other wing player that
Hey,
comes off the
no,
bench?
my slander Jamal Murray is stop, bruh. He proved to me in the playoffs that he ain't a bitch.
no, I know what you're talking about. It's Will
No,
Will,
I ain't.
Will
Will Barton.
yeah.
Will Barton probably
They just resigned Will Barton. They're not gonna trade him.
Okay.
No, I already know who off the team. I already know that.
Who?
Millsap.
They trained Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
And he could, and like I said, he could help somebody. He could really help somebody.
No, he really can help somebody. They will trade him.
Yeah, so like I think the Nuggets they can be a top team. It's gonna be really weird. I think it's gonna be Nuggets at 1. It's gonna be a tie between the Lakers and the
Oh, Derek.
Trailblazers at 2,
Derek, get the fuck
3, and the 4th best team in the West probably the Rockets. Everyone, the Spurs. I mean, like
out.
they're
The
gonna be
Warriors
broke,
at.
but they have a talent cap.
The Warriors are injured. They probably gonna be like 7th, 8th.
Yeah, the Spurs, the Warriors are gonna make. The Warriors are going to be a very competitive, like 4 or 5 seed, and then they're going to get dropped off by a talented team, a more talented team.
Nobody stand by no Thunder?
Nope, I don't care. I don't care. I don't
Damn.
know.
Wait, Derek, you said that you don't even got the Thunder making the playoffs. Wait.
I got the. I said top 4 seed.
They have a chance.
Oh, okay.
Terrace's ACL.
You're fucked up.
And Billy Donovan catches some
If they don't get rid of that man, get rid of Billy
Donovan
Donovan.
is some ass, bro.
Please find a new coach.
He is some ass.
What happens when you don't identify good coaches before the coaching market is dried up? You're stuck with a bad coach for like another year. That's because Elton Brand knows. Okay, I got to get a new coach. When Elton Brand looks left, he looks right. He sees freaking Jason Kidd rubbing his hands like I'm not. He sees Frank Vogel. He's like, all right. You get another year.
Mark Jackson.
No one. Okay. When everyone saw what Draymond Green was doing when Steve Kerr unleashed him, and they saw when Mark Jackson was there, Draymond Green was rotting on the bench. Mark Jackson lost a lot of clout, a ton of clout. When everyone was like, okay, yeah, this team is young and they're ready, and then Draymond Green started playing when Steve Kerr was there. Everyone was like, "Oh, you just didn't let this guy play." A lot of teams were just like, that was like the icing on the cake because obviously
That's
Mark.
what happened with Woodson, but he got hired because he was coach of the year. Like Casey, Casey, he didn't let Pascal play last year, and it's not like Pascal Siakam passed last year. He didn't get that time to what he had to do.
So yeah. So like once teams see these guys, number one, you're not even sharp with the X's and O's. You're more of a motivational speaker, but then you inhibit like Hall of Famers from being Hall of Famers. Like you literally like Mark Jackson. That's one of the reasons why he's not looked at seriously by most teams. It's like we want the guy to get us to the arc. We don't want the guy to coach. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think about Mark Jackson. But maybe he's been blackballed because he was
Stan Van.
Yeah. The Stan Van Gundy, I don't know. I don't think Stan Van Gundy likes coaching. I really don't. I think after being in Detroit and getting the free reign to do whatever he wanted and crashing and burning, like I just think he's kind of
free reign to do whatever.
They made him like they gave Stan Van Gundy the complete keys to that organization. He just couldn't do it. Like remember, he made that Blake Griffin trade to try to save his job, and they still dropped him. Like he couldn't get that team to the playoffs. They gave him like 3-4 years, and he still couldn't. Like it just wasn't meant to be. He just tried. Like we all recognize that Stan Van Gundy, really good defensive mind, and he can piece together a good offense. Y'all can hear us, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
But like we just don't think he has. I think personally, he gets too emotional, and that hinders his ability to be a good leader.
Yeah, he said that on the Dan Lebatard has his own podcast now. He was a guest on there, and he said that for his health and for his mental health, he quit coaching because he could not enjoy it because he took it too seriously, and it just like weighed on him. Like it just fucked with him so much. So he just like quit. So yeah, I mean, like y'all said, man, if OKC don't change their coaching situation, it's no.
It's gonna be the same old.
Point guard situation, bro.
Yeah, I think
move Russ up to the 2 and get a damn point guard.
I'm not going to give Kyrie Irving heat and flack for not changing the way he played and acknowledging that he didn't play well. If I'm not going to do the same with Russ, but luckily I've always done that with Russ. Russ has to acknowledge that he is just not the type of player that
30-something right now, bro. It's about damn time you realize like you're not a number one option. You will never be a number one option on a championship team. You are hardly a number 2 option as a point guard. You are not a point guard.
He's like Russell Westbrook is like the best version of a gunner that we have in today's NBA. That's just not effective basketball.
I think if Russell Westbrook were to go take one offseason in this reconstructed game into becoming the best two-way guard he could be, he would automatically be put back up into the top 5 conversation best player in the world. If he stopped with like I understand this whole entire like okay, I'm not gonna kill him for this triple double thing. All right, it helps his team to help for them to win.
Yeah, it really helps for have your center run away from rebounds.
But
it's cool.
If was Sam Presti just took 1 year and go like, yo, Russ, okay, you're can't run the show. Like you gotta take the step back. We want you to focus more on you being more of a defensive player and just focusing on you being a scorer. That's what you were born. That's what you were here to do. You were here to score. You weren't here to.
I don't know. What is his percentages and tell me his points?
He's look at AI percentages in some cases.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, but like that's what I was saying. Like, he is a gunner. Like he's like, I'm going to take the shots.
He's on the like that's probably.
I agree. I agree.
Mentality wise, like that's the closest thing you're getting to Russ is AI. As far as like, he's not gonna stop. He's gonna keep coming at you. He's gonna go for it because like he feels that whatever he has to do is for the betterment of his team, right? Yeah. So, I mean, Russ, like, I commend him for the amount of effort that he puts into the game of basketball because I can tell that he truly loves playing basketball. He doesn't do this for money. does it because he wants to win. That's Russell Westbrook. That's what I've come to realize of what Russell Westbrook is. But it does not change the fact that the way that he plays right now is only that's what's holding the team back. They need to go out. They need to go find one more player. They don't. Paul George needs to take that franchise by a hold and be like, okay, this is my team. They need to go out and get at least one more player that's either all-star level or a tick under, and they got to move Russ up to the 2. I don't know what you can do with Dennis Schroeder. I think he's good coming off the bench, but you guys got to go get a point guard.
Yeah,
so that can actually really facilitate.
It really didn't make sense to
Billy Donovan. Get him out of there, okay?
But like the problem with people saying fire this coach, fire Billy Donovan.
You should have for the Thunder. You should have been thinking about this.
They don't have a replacement. That's the problem.
I'm saying you should have been thinking about replacing him. Like, this is not like something where you just fire him on the spot. This is something that should have been as soon as they blew that 3-1 lead to the Warriors. That should have been some red flags that's going on.
But there's just no really notable hot shot coaching candidates. Like, there's not like a Shaka Smart or a guy that's in everyone's mouth. The name is in everyone's mouth. Pause. Right now, like, there's just no one that really excites you. Like, I remember, when like the Suns we're gonna get Igor Kozku, whatever, and then he flamed out. Like, international coaches, that well has kind of been dried up. Like, college coaching, there's not really any young guys that excite you that make you think, wow, this guy really slick with the X's and O's.
Okay, so here's what you can do: you can either keep losing, getting bounced out the first round,
or you could try something new.
Or you could try something new, or you could do what the Raptors did and get a coach that you've been having in your system in the G League and bring him up to that system and see what he can do. Like give people shots, like give people chances. Like, the only way any team wins anything.
Eli, the problem is that Billy Donovan is the dude they gave the shot to.
He blew it.
Yeah, I agree with you, but then I agree with Derek. It's like, who are you gonna replace him with? Like, they are in a win now mode as a franchise, so they're just sticking with stability. I do agree with y'all assessment though that I think Russ needs to move over. Yeah, I know I keep going back to these two dudes, but I think like Malcolm Brogdon would be great for that team, or D'Lo.
I also think somebody needs two players.
Could D'Lo handle playing in Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Oklahoma City's it's a basketball town, and it's more so of like they love their players, but it's like there's so like when you think about Oklahoma City, there's like so much intensity in that in that place. It's just like
but it's nothing like playing in the big New York League.
No, but there's a difference between playing with because Brooklyn, it's like Brooklyn it's Brooklyn, but it's like there's a different feeling of playing in Oklahoma City 41 nights 49 nights out of the year versus playing in a franchise that's been known for losing most of their time.
So you don't think D'Lo can handle that expectation?
I don't know, because as soon as he gets over there, it's okay. It's go time for D'Lo. He's in the Western.
I agree with that.
It's a very like playing in Oklahoma City 41 nights out of a year. A lot of big matchups that like Russell Westbrook's gonna be ready. Paul George, he's been there before. He's gonna be ready. D'Lo, those are two distinctly different places, bro.
I mean, that's a very good point. We don't know how D'Lo reacts in high leverage moments and being under heavy pressure.
Because he's been in high leverage moments.
So, can I ask y'all a question? So, just based off of this conversation, y'all think OKC's the X factor?
I think OKC will be an X factor if they make the right moves, but because we don't expect them to make the right moves, we expect them to just be in basketball limbo. I'm not going to say poverty, because like they're too talented to be like a terrible team.
The Clippers, New Age Clippers.
No, that's the Rockets. That's the Rockets. Like,
so y'all saying? So y'all agree with Denver Denver.
I still.
I think Denver's going to be
see
the
more
first
Denver.
seed. I think Denver's going to be the first seed that gets beat by the best Western
They should
Conference
have
team.
never lost to the freaking Trailblazers.
But I don't
Who's
think.
your top four then?
I told you on my top four. I said Denver.
So Eli,
Lakers.
who's your top four?
My top four
And go west and east.
for the West. My top four. And we're assuming that like people. Like,
We're assuming Kawhi. I'm sorry, I should say. We're assuming Kawhi leaves and goes to like the Clippers, right?
He goes to the Clippers.
We're
I got Clippers one.
Mhm.
I got Nuggets two. This is like top four to win a ring or
Top four,
just
like
in the
this
seeding wise.
I think it's seeding.
Okay, then if it's seeding, then it's Clippers.
Oh no, let's look for a ring. Now, who cares about seeding?
Okay, so then Clippers. I'm gonna go with. This is my like. I'm going with the Spurs.
Okay.
I'm going with the Spurs. Lakers. I can't. I don't know. The Trailblazers like.
They're like to me. I throw them in there, but they're kind of like a fraud stuff.
Then you got the Rockets. I'll give the Rockets their respect. Then the Rockets. I'll give them
A year older Chris Paul. Okay.
Yeah, but the league's wide open.
Okay,
No Kevin Durant.
so then give us a quick East, and then we'll give
East. Would be Milwaukee. Going with my Celtics. I guess you got to put the Sixers in there, and then that fourth spot is kind of reserved for like the Pacers. I don't think the New York teams are ready yet.
Orlando.
Maybe,
Orlando.
maybe Orlando.
Yeah, especially if what's his face can play basketball whole season and look like a number one overall pick. Yeah, they're gonna be like a top 5 seed. All right, guys, what do y'all think?
Who's going first?
John, you can go, bro.
Let's see. For the West, so let's see.
Okay,
I have.
I goes to the Clippers. We're assuming that AD goes to the Lakers.
All right, then I'll have Denver 1. I have Lakers 2. Rockets 3. And Clippers 4.
You know, if the Lakers and Denver go at it in like the Western Conference Finals, Denver's getting fucked.
They're
fucked.
Yeah, if it's Kawhi like Clippers, yeah, it is.
Fucked.
All right, give us your top four for the East, John.
Top 4 for the East, I have Milwaukee 1, Sixers 2. Damn. Who else is us in the East? Oh, I have Pacers 3, Celtics 4.
All right, Jake.
I have the yikes. I have the Rockets 1.
Wow.
If they don't trade anybody, bro, they're the second best team in that conference. I got the Lakers 2. I have the Denver Nuggets 3, and I have the Clippers 4.
Quick. I'm switching out my Rockets. I gotta pay respects to the Warriors. I think the Warriors probably.
I think the Warriors are the 5th or 6th seed. Yeah.
I think like a healthy Draymond and a healthy Steph, unless they fill out their bench with something weird. But not if you give KD and or Clay a max. You're not filling out your bench with nothing but.
Right.
So, all right, go. Give us the East, Jake, and then we'll wrap it up with the top 5 players in the world. Personal.
Okay. East is And these are assuming all the free agents that are rumored to go.
So we're assuming Kawhi leaves.
Kawhi leaves go to the Clippers.
We're
AD
assuming
goes to
like
the-
nothing really of notice happens to the Knicks, right? So the Knicks don't get an AD.
Okay,
They don't get like
but Kyrie is in
the New Jersey.
New Jersey in the Nets. Okay, I got it now. All right.
I love how we all say New Jersey, but it's definitely in Brooklyn.
We're
It's
assuming the
yeah.
Sixers at least keep their big three. If not, they keep their 4 best players.
Okay, cool. Okay, so my top 4 would be in the East, it would be Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
the Nets,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and the Pacers.
Okay.
What makes the 76ers?
The 76ers. Okay, so number one, the 76ers.
Wait, I didn't say the 76ers. The 76ers for the Pacers. Yeah, so wait, yeah. I said Milwaukee.
You said 76ers is number 2.
Yeah, so the Milwaukee Bucks, 76ers, Nets. That's it. With the Pacers 5 and the Celtics 6.
Okay, so
what makes the Nets so appealing?
the Nets
barely make the playoffs this year.
Okay, so that's the thing, right? The Nets, number one, they're a team, and the culture essentially is what impresses a lot of people. You have to admit,
Jared Allen.
with that talent level, making it to the playoffs and at least getting some games off on like some pretty good teams was a feat. Now they're gonna have, if they get Kyrie Irving, they're gonna have a proven like elite scorer that's better than D'Lo, and and that team's gonna take the jump. They're not gonna be an HC type of team anymore. I think Kyrie.
Yeah, because Karis LeVert's not gonna be out either.
We shall see what they do.
Like if we're gonna be completely objective, like Kyrie Irving, I feel like he's.
I'm being perfectly objective with what I'm saying. Kyrie Irving had a team around him in Boston.
But he didn't have the system that he thought. He thought
that system would work for
Kyrie Irving needs the freedom to dance.
What, was he not doing that?
Not. It was built into the system, but it was not the system.
Okay,
the system,
but Brooklyn's system literally let D'Lo do what he needed to do, which would let Kyrie do what he needs to do.
D'Lo was a perfect. It's not like D'Lo is like an inch more of a score first point guard than he is a playmaker. I feel like he's pretty much even at that level.
But we have to be fair. Like Kyrie is a significantly more proven and just more talented scorer at basically every point of the court than D'Lo. Everything D'Lo can do, Kyrie Irving does it at an A-, A+ level. Aside from playmaking,
you have to understand that there's going to be a lot more attention on Kyrie Irving, dude. Like it's like so much attention is going to be built on just Kyrie Irving being there that it's not going to be like him in. Even that, like it was bad for us this year. Think about how bad it's gonna be for the next.
Hey, all I have to say, bro, is look, man, they are literally Kyrie Irving and another free agent away from really honestly giving Milwaukee a run, because y'all gotta realize how good Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert are.
And Karis was out half a year. He's gonna be there this time.
Y'all are not understanding. Them dudes are coming off the bench. One of them dudes is coming off the bench. They are legit. They have the money to legit retool that whole franchise.
That's why they traded what's his name. That's why they traded Allen Crabbe, so they have the money to sign people.
Yeah, man. The Nets, to me, with Kenny Atkins,
that team looks very good if Kevin Durant is healthy. That team doesn't look as appealing to me. It just doesn't. Jared Allen is still a horrible center in my opinion.
He's not. What are you talking about?
He's not horrible.
No, he's a bad center. He's a bad center.
I mean, they signed Nikola Vucevic and Kyrie. They can get that whole popping, bro. I wouldn't even hold you, bro. They beat a lot of teams in the East.
So I just want to know. Okay, so we all know that Kyrie Irving is a prolific scorer, but what has he really shown to us
Oh no, I'm just saying they're gonna outscore everybody in the East, bro. They already led the NBA in 3-point percentage, if I'm not mistaken. And you add Kyrie to that, God, they gonna spray y'all out. They gonna be a good team, bro. They gonna be a good team. I'm not gonna hold you. They're gonna be a really good team because I think they have better scores.
They have better scores, but who's going to get them the ball? Who? Who is going to get those scores? The ball?
Like if we're I think Kyrie Irving is at least B-level playmaker. I don't
B-level playmaker. What?
Yeah, I actually
I agree with that.
What?
Yeah, I have to actually agree. I think he's a better playmaker than Kawhi. Like, yeah.
Season start because a lot of you, all of you, are going to be looking mad hush mode when I come back on this podcast and you guys and I'm like, so what's going on with this playmaking ability of Kyrie Irving? And people are like,
yeah, but like
I feel like you're just jaded because he destroyed your team, but
yeah, bro. Like honestly, bro. Honestly, bro. What if he don't? What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't do that? And the Nets are still donkey fucking people. Like, who cares?
No, they weren't donkey fucking people.
Yes, they were. The last month of that season, they were really beating the shit out of teams.
They were beating the shit out of teams that were either tanking or were already in the playoff picture, bro. Like, if we could pull up their schedule and see how many of those teams were like, you know what?
The Nets are a good basketball team, and they just need a couple of free agents. They just need a couple of free agents and like retool that bench a little bit, bro. And yikes, I wouldn't want to play them. I really want to play them. They got a owner that's willing to spend money. They got a good GM. They have a top 10 coach in the NBA.
That's what you're saying. That's what essentially you're saying. We have two 76ers in the East minus Joel Embiid. That's essentially what we're doing here. Okay, cool. Let's see how that works out.
No, I think Kenny Atkinson is a way better coach than Brett Brown.
He is.
What? He's been a top 10 coach for a very long time.
He was good in Atlanta. He's good in Brooklyn.
Okay, so
the massive disappointment.
I don't know how they're massively disappointed when they can only go up from here.
So
like Eli, if they get the 4 seed, they would improve their seeding 2 times. Like that's an improvement.
Yeah, they would jump from 8 to they were 7th. I think the match.
Yeah, like I don't understand what you like. I just said they would be a top 4 team, bro. They just improving what? They adding what? 5 more wins?
Talent, that team would be more talented than our team.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. They just add 5 more wins to their schedule. Like I'm saying, they go to the finals. I'm saying,
I mean, like,
who do they definitively beat in the East?
When did they what?
Who do they definitively know that they could go and beat in the East?
I think they're trying to argue that Jake by leaving the Celtics out, he says they beat the Celtics.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Without Kyrie, yeah.
I think he says that. I think he says they're better than your typical Magic, Pistons, and then if they're the 4th seed, they have a fighting chance to go against Milwaukee. They have a fight, and they can
understand how.
I'm not arguing this.
Grind and
I'm not saying this. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
The 76ers would have a play date with them too.
I would. That's why I left.
Joel Embiid would. Oh, he would love that. He would love that so much.
I honestly think
for another
Eli. The thing you're not taking into consideration is that Toronto does not. In our scenario, Toronto is awful.
Okay, cool.
Okay, the Celtics are going to take a big step back.
Big step back for what? How are we going to take a big step back for a player that was playing worse when he was on the court than off the court?
Who is your starting point guard?
That's the thing. There's too much uncertainty for them to really.
Yeah, like bro, like,
just tell me who's your starting point guard.
Like the
you say Marcus Smart, you're losing.
Eli, like think about what you're doing. You are making a lot of assumptions for your favorite basketball team, while not including the talent that will enter the Nets.
I haven't even really brought them up yet. I'm just saying, what about I understand this. The Nets are they're a fun
If
team.
I wasn't mistaken, Karis LeVert was top 10 in scoring before he got hurt.
That's nice. My thing is Joe Harris.
So you have two top. Okay, all right. Man.
Is Joe Harris going to perform in the playoffs? Is Crooks going to perform next year?
What they're assuming is the team gets better because they have cap space and Kyrie and potentially the
Yeah, bro. Like I'm just playing those odds. That's it, man. I'm not saying nothing else really. Like
before my brother blows a gasket. Let's wrap it up. What do you guys think are the top 5 players in the NBA right now? Kevin Durant out for you.
Well, I can't put KD in there, unfortunately, and that sounds very weird saying that.
So we doing top 5, including injuries, basically.
We're doing top 5 excluding injuries. We're doing top 5 they're going to play next year.
James Harden cannot be. He's not in my top 5. I can say that much.
That's because he's not in mine. So yeah.
So okay. It would be Kawhi. I'll go first. It would be Kawhi, AD.
Oh, is this an order?
No, yeah, I guess so. Kawhi, AD.
Did you just say Anthony Davis is better than LeBron James?
No, my fault. Okay, LeBron, Anthony Davis.
Wait, hold on. So you said you think?
So you have Kawhi, LeBron, Anthony Davis.
Just say it's not in any order, dude.
It's Kawhi, LeBron, Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Giannis.
Okay. And you need one more. If you're not gonna, then you have. Is it Russ? If it's not James.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Like this is not a difficult list.
How much? Here's. Let's see.
There's so many players in this, like so many great players in this league that we just forget
now
about.
Put in the top 5. No,
I'll put Jokic. I'll put Jokic in my top 5.
You put who?
You put Jokic over Curry and James Harden.
Who? wait, who?
Stop doing the Snoop Dogg. He told you Jokic.
Wait. So you want to call my Nets pick asinine? That's the most asinine thing I think I've ever heard.
You don't think Steph's top 5?
Steph won't be able to. How would he be able to show that he's top 5 next year? He's gonna have a hard time getting into playoffs, right?
I mean, if he's top 5, he won't. That's if he's top 5, he can lead that team to at least a 6-7 seed.
Steph done enough to not even question this.
So we're going off accolades or what we think is going to happen?
No, we know is a top 5 player in the NBA. This ain't not.
Holding in their hands going to have the most impact for their teams.
Yeah, this ain't.
That's my order.
That
doesn't budge because this is my mentality of how my list is going into next season and how I project how next season's going to go, and based off of what Derek just said of how much impact one's going to have on their team, it's Kawhi.
Wouldn't Steph have more impact than Jokic? Because Steph is going to have the ball more.
No, not necessarily, because
having the ball doesn't make you a better player. I'm saying like wins and losses, potential to go far in the playoffs. Like Jokic doesn't necessarily need the ball. Like I'm not because like if we're gonna go over ball dominance, that's not necessarily a factor. Like we assume, I would assume you would say.
I thought this was just straightforward. Like who are the top 5 just best?
That's what I'm saying.
Basketball.
So that's essentially what I was saying.
I think y'all making this list too hard.
Yeah, pretty much. Like y'all really are.
I said top 5. All right, who are going to be the top 5 basketball players next year? Eli says his list is Kawhi Leonard.
He said next year. That's mine.
Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Who else?
We all know Jokic is my 5th guy. It was
Giannis.
Yeah, all right, that's my list. I don't know who's gonna be in your list because if we go off of accolades, then
I'm not. It's not even accolades. It's just like
who we think is the best one.
Who is the best? Like, I'm not taking like who do we when we see and watch basketball. Damn, that's a top 5 player in the NBA. I don't say that with Jokic. Hell no.
You don't know he's the best center in the league.
Yeah, like hell to the fuck no. Like no. Yeah. Okay, Derek, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. All right, so starting the list off, I'm gonna go Kawhi, AD, LeBron, Giannis, and stuff.
Yep. Don't you don't have to repeat nothing. That's my list. Keep going, Jerron.
What?
Well, mine's in order. I got LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, AD, and Steph.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Pretty much.
Steph Curry.
Pretty much.
Curry is the greatest shooter that all of us has ever seen. Right? Correct?
No, he's not the greatest shooter I've ever seen. His teammate is
Klay Thompson.
Okay. I'll let you. I'll let you think. I'm not mad at you for thinking that. Defensively,
wait. You're not mad at me for thinking Steph is better than Klay?
no. Or what? No, I'm not.
That Klay's better than Steph is what you were saying.
Yeah, like no, I'm not saying that.
He's saying he's a better shooter. He didn't say he was a better player.
No, he's not a better shooter either. But okay.
Okay. All right. Defensively,
Turnstile.
no, and maybe I'll.
Are we really about to compare Steph Curry and Jokic on defense? Because I would put them in the same category.
I was about to pick that up and get my thing. They picked on Steph Curry a lot on defense. That was what Van Fleet going off yesterday. Guess who was guarding him? Steph Curry. Who else? Kyle Lowry going up for what 15 in the first quarter. Guess who was guarding him? Steph Curry. They were picking on Steph Curry that whole entire series, and they've been picking on Steph Curry since the beginning of this quote unquote dynasty. It is a dynasty, but yeah. So Steph, his effectiveness comes from, and I'm not disputing whether or not like he has impact, but his impact comes from him having the ability to have those other guys that he plays with. I'm not talking about Klay Thompson. I'm not talking about Kevin Durant, but he does not have the supporting cast that he used to have. He won't. And like you guys said, if they're going to pay Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant that money, he's not going to have the a supporting cast good enough for him to fully display his abilities. That's why I'm saying going into next season, those are my top 5 best players. That's why if you guys feel that that team's going to be a 6th, 7th, 8th seed, that's cool. But if we're talking about
a top 5 player, he should be in this team better. Is what you're saying? It should be.
I think if Steph is clearly not 6'7", 6'8". I can't necessarily judge Steph on. I can't.
Obviously, he's not the athlete that the other guys
he cannot be. I can't put him in that conversation because just physically, he's just not big enough to be in that best player in the world conversation.
I don't think that matters.
I think it matters very much because my best player, I need him to be able to perform offensively and defensively at a high level.
I think that would be the case if your best player with the overall package of offensive defense beats somebody else's ability on offense. I think Steph Curry, his shooting ability and his playmaking ability makes him such an offensive threat that his inabilities on defense are not only negated, they are forgivable if you have that player.
Yep.
That's why I say Steph's in my top 5.
Yep.
Steph, like spaces the floor so well. He causes so much pressure. When he steps on that half-court line, you're like, okay, now I have to guard him.
Do y'all see the defense when he's on the court? Like, just looking at Steph draws like half the team towards him.
Like, he's not only like a guy.
Man. Like
when Andre Iguodala hit that 3 in game, was it 2? The fact that Sean Livingston looked at Steph before he passed it to Andre is the reason why Andre was that open. Like
And then
that's how much of a threat Steph
Yeah,
is.
And like Steph too, like the Warriors look bad, but like they were on their last legs. Like I'm not saying they're gonna get like really good bench players.
You just saw. You know why what that whole entire thing that you just said doesn't hold any validity, and what I'm trying to say is because his shooting ability did not overcome his defensive woes at all.
In that series, yes, but I'm possible. My reason why I say I would put Steph in there is because I assume the team that they're going to have, although it won't have Clay or KD, I assume they'll have a stable roster that will have a lineup that will play together that will go 6 or 7 deep.
And even going back more, digging into your point even more, you go back to when the Cavs came back, his shooting ability did not pick up his defensive woes at all. Did it? We could say that he's such a prolific shooter and he garners so much attention defensively, but if you don't do anything with that, and then meanwhile on defense you're just getting picked on, he hasn't. It's not like it's like James Harden during the regular season. And James Harden's not even a bad defender, but if we're going on the narrative that James Harden is a bad defender, during the regular season, him being able to score and that just negated any defensive problem that he would have on defense. That your argument doesn't make sense to me because he has not shown that. In those high leverage situations, can he perform?
I find this very asinine, considering that you are talking like Steph never won shit.
I'm not saying he's never won shit. I'm saying that
that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Like you're saying, like he's never performed. Y'all really like the narrative that they say that this man's not clutch. Like
I'm talking about going into next season. What have I seen from Steph Curry recently? I'm not talking. That's what I'm saying. If we're going off of
like Eli, he's a month removed from scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter to beat a team without their best player. Like KD's the best player on that team.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Like he is literally a whole series removed from averaging 38 points, 7 rebounds, and 6. Like he had one bad series, and you're like, he's just shit from now on.
That's the thing. It's not just one bad series. Jake, he underperforms in these high leverage situations.
What, Eli? That's just false.
How's that?
Okay, Eli. Okay, I'm gonna bridge this gap, right? Because I feel like it's where I get anywhere. What Jake is saying is that you can't say he doesn't perform in high leverage situations. You can't say there's no evidence for that when he has 3 rings on his head. You can't say that when in the series before when they were even marginally more healthy, they sweep a Portland Trail Blazers team in high leverage situations. You can't say that and then say he doesn't perform.
Your team is clearly
much superior. So like what are we saying he's a top 5? Because like if you're saying he's not clutch, then okay, I understand that.
I started making these points based off of what you just said, of you saying that his overall offensive ability negates his defensive woes. And
that's been true. That's been true since he won his first MVP. Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Oh,
I would say for James Harden too. Yeah.
You don't win. You don't like because like a player whose offensive effectiveness isn't like outpaced. It doesn't outpace his defense. A good example of that is like a DeMarcus Cousins, because we see like even though he's great on offense, he's so bad on defense. It really doesn't matter.
Let's go to the history. All right, so let's go to the first finals. All right, they face the Cavaliers. We already know what the situation was with the Cavaliers. We don't need to go into that. Andre Iguodala won that MVP award. Steph Curry was not. Steph Curry in that series, was he? If we
So
remember
are
correctly.
so we're gonna go ahead and say that Steph because he's never won a Finals MVP.
No. Oh, I mean that could no.
Jokic never won a Finals MVP.
Jokic's not even good on defense.
That's the part that's shocking me.
Jokic,
We're really having this conversation. Like
Jokic has proven at this point of his career, going into next season, that he played a hell of a playoff throughout the playoffs. He's been playing very well, and Steph Curry, to his credit, he's been playing like that throughout the playoffs as well. It's just I don't even like talking about it, but in these moments, right?
So Steph isn't clutch.
No, he's not clutch. He's not clutch, but in
and Jokic is. Like if we really want to list out the players on our top 5 list and we just want to go off clutch, it starts and stops with LeBron and Kawhi. Everybody else.
okay, but that's just something that
Like I don't know.
I think if we just want to go off of clutchness and in
no, because I'm going off projections. Derek asked me whether he was clutch or not. I answered that question. I don't think he's clutch, right? I'm going off of basic of what I think will happen to Steph Curry next year. His offensive ability will not be able to be so far. His offensive ability is it's insane. It's amazing, but it's not going to be able to just cancel out what teams are going to be able to do with him, considering that his right hand man is out with an ACL injury, and their best player is gone. All the attention, he's gone.
Either gone or out for the season.
All the attention is going to be put on Steph Curry. Steph Curry had a great playoff showing this year against the Trailblazers. Come on, okay. Okay, so I mean, I can't. I can't.
I can see if you said against the Clippers, but like.
Okay, so my here's my. I'm gonna wrap this up. For you, okay. I ultimately the reason why I still put Steph Curry in my top 5 is I understand he is defensive vibe. No, I don't think any of us are gonna argue that. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. A lot of what makes a great player to shine through is the system and coaching that will help him so that they can do a good job of hiding him or really accentuating his gifts rather than exposing his flaws, right? So I feel like the Warriors, the reason why they were able to be so successful was because they were able to help Steph. So when he got beat off the dribble, there would be systems in place to help him, and that he'd be able to be accentuated on offense when he needed to be so. We've never seen Steph Curry actually have to be the ball dominant guy, where he's going to have to throw up 20 shots a game consistently because he's in an option. I actually think he's going to be.
Think he's going to excel at that?
I think he can.
With the pieces that they have right now,
I think what I'm saying is I think number one, assuming that they re-sign Clay and KD leaves, if they have any cap space, I think they do. They are able to at least get some help, something. That's number one. And number two, I think that with
the help, how much of that help is not going to amount.
And I'm not. That's why I said they're not going to be like a top. They're not going to be the best team, but they're just saying they're going to be like some. Like you even said, you got to give them credit and say they're going to be a top 4 seed. So how are you going to go backtrack and say, well, I don't think what type of help you even put them in your top 4? You took what's their face out. So you obviously think you're giving the team, the coaching, if not Steph Curry, some credit, right? So you think that if they got any type of help, that whole system is going to be conducive to them being a top 4 threat because they are the champs. So you can't go back now and ask me what I think. What do you think that help will be like? What do you think those systems are going to be like if they're going to be a top 4 seed? Because if Steph wasn't even that caliber of player, then what are you saying? You think like
I feel like a huge drop off between what the top 4 is and what the bottom fours in the Western Conference. And I think with the Warriors, they do have the coaching, right?
So,
But more importantly, my praises have consistently gone to what Draymond Green has been able to do for that team. I understand that Draymond Green isn't the focal point of that offense. I understand that Steph Curry is that focal point. I'm saying, as far as I guess this will be my closing statement about Steph Curry. Steph Curry, he's a great. I don't need to continuously
praise him.
Yeah, praise him.
You should praise him because you've been beating them down last 10 minutes.
Okay. You guys forced me to because you guys are
putting him in a top 5 list. Imagine that.
Because I look at guys that are able to going into next season that are going to be able to dominate. Do I think Steph Curry is going to be able to dominate next season? No, I don't think so. Not the way that he was able to do in the past because of the lack of help, and it's not strength in numbers anymore. It's going to be the Steph Curry show over there. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Of course, it is going to be the regular season, right? So there's going to be a lot of time, a lot of games where you can just go and beat up on a lot of these bad teams, and which is why I felt that they can go and sneak in to make a top 4 seeding, considering that a lot of I just lost my train of thought.
A lot of the West is bad, or a lot of leagues bad, and they're such a well coach.
They feel like they're not going to take these small teams for granted anymore. They're gonna have to go back and be like, these are games that we need to win.
They're gonna have to win it too.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's reasonable. Jake, you actually haven't gotten to say your top 5 because
you said his top 5.
Oh no, it's the same as yours, bro.
What did you say? Say it for the audience.
Oh yeah, I can do it in order. I can do it in order. It's LeBron, Kawhi, Steph, Giannis, AD.
So
yeah. Let's just. I want to actually talk to you guys about this. Do you guys think LeBron okay? Most of us didn't put LeBron as number 1. Jake, why do you think LeBron's number 1? Why do you still put LeBron James as your number 1? That's
because if you understand basketball, regardless of the dumb narratives that everybody tries to live by, we all understand what that man brings to the basketball court, and we all try to compare people to him. So if you try to do that intrinsically, you know that he's better than everybody else. It's kind of like simple as that.
I don't think it's that simple. I think I'll let you finish because we do have to finish, but yeah.
All right. John, you got anything to say?
About putting LeBron number 1?
About anything.
I got LeBron number 1 because honestly, besides KD, I haven't seen anybody close to him. So if KD's not in it, then LeBron automatically has to be number 1.
Yeah, I mean,
what I've been hearing is I'm putting LeBron number 1 because he's LeBron James. Correct.
I mean,
right? Yeah.
Who else is doing LeBron James things? Like do y'all not honestly think LeBron James isn't going to be well rested and back to his regular self when he comes day 1?
No, they don't.
From a regular self.
Did you not see him before he got injured? He was still LeBron James. Like, what makes y'all think he's not going to be LeBron James now?
Yeah, but he was coming off the worst injury of his career. That's now they're saying that number 1. That's not a career threatening injury. Number 2, it's the most rest he's ever had. So
he has, and then his worst injury was a groin injury, which people has come back from.
So they're basically saying evidence shows there was.
I don't like he tore his ACL. Like he did it. And he came back in the season. They just rested him because there was no point of him playing him anymore. They weren't making the playoffs.
And he was more out of shape than hurt.
I don't want to. I mean, it's more prevalent with basketball players. The reason why I don't hear about private time is I don't look at Tom Brady and think when is that going to end. So like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna.
Basketball and football are very
Playing quarterback and being the most protected is very different than playing basketball. But I understand what they're saying. Until he shows you that he is declined, we will assume he is the player that we thought him to be, especially with rest. Because we can easily, just as you're saying, y'all don't think he's gonna be at least declined a little bit. We could have said that last year, and he put up big. We don't know. So, like, to play that father time game, we can only know when we see it. We can't just assume he's going to be worse.
I mean, he looked like LeBron James to me before he got injured. So
we can assume guys are going to come into the season with jump shots. They don't. We make a lot of
people are just singing this tune of LeBron James because he got injured. People are already talking about this prior to his injury.
Well, yeah, I wonder the way
that the only person that they were saying that was close that was past LeBron was KD. KD is injured, so none of the other people on the list were being compared to LeBron James besides KD. KD's not on the list. LeBron's number one.
I don't think Giannis is in the LeBron conversation quite yet. I think Giannis is in
very early in this year's season.
Yeah, honestly, I think comparing any one of these dudes to LeBron James is highly disrespectful if his name's not Kevin Durant.
And then we're not gonna act like
KD the only dude in LeBron's generation that we can honestly say he can be top 10.
So we're just gonna act like beginning of this year when the Pelicans were really doing something earlier this year and the Pelicans were looking like they're gonna go back and make the playoffs again, that people weren't putting Anthony Davis above LeBron James.
Where did you hear that from? Because I didn't hear that narrative.
As fuck if they said that.
I heard that a lot.
I lost that. But
and what was that like? The first 15 games, and that died. Anthony Davis shows you that died.
Like the first 30 games.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how he's not the best player on the planet. Like,
I think Kawhi's better. He's better right now. But I can see you guys
because recency bias. So I mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah. You know the funny thing about this is if KD was fully healthy, we really would not be talking about Kawhi because KD would be breaking his goddamn foot off in that nigga. But whatever, man.
Of course.
Yeah, it's KD and LeBron, the two best players. It's Kobe, LeBron, KD, and Tim Duncan. Them are the four best players I've seen with my eyes. So like I got to see them actually play in a prime. Yeah, now I'm not saying Giannis or Kawhi or AD can't get there, but they got some ways to go. They got one. Kawhi got one in regular season MVP. Damn it! I gotta see him do this in the regular season.
What?
I gotta see him be that dominant. I gotta see him be.
You see him do something like this in the regular season, like the year before he got injured with the Spurs. He was dominated.
No, not like this, bro.
I mean, but I would expect him to. I want him to. I would. Me personally, I would want to see him play better in the playoffs rather than in the regular season. I mean, the regular season is cute and all, but playoffs is where the money's at. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, who's been the best playoff performer the last 10 years?
Bravo. Yeah, I'll give you
that. Just, I mean, it's yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. Like,
always context to everything.
No, it's just he's that good.
He's that good. He's been the best player in the world for a very long time now. It's just the way that Derek phrased that question. I went off of how I perceive that question. What LeBron's number 2 right now. So
I think that's it, everybody.
and then if KD never got injured, then it would be something like it would be something like KD, LeBron, and then Kawhi. And the reason why I would move Kawhi behind LeBron is because I would assume that KD would, like you said, would put his foot up Kawhi's ass. So he's holding number 2 right now. But,
Honestly, it really don't matter. All them dudes are really good. I think all of those dudes gonna really hold the future of the NBA in their hands. Really, honestly, for next year. Like I think all of those dudes can go in the ring next year. Honestly, and I'm being so serious. Like probably other than Steph, just because of injuries. But yeah, I think the rest of the 4 can go in the ring next year. It's gonna be interesting. I think that's it, everybody. So plug yourself.
Season's over. It's been a weird one. It's been an interesting one. I think the next year's gonna be really, really interesting. It'll be fun to watch. Follow me on Twitter at captions not cap RNV at RNVP _CC. You want to plug your Instagram or something, Eli?
I'll plug my IG. My IG is Ailey.Babal, E 3 H's, then LIE, then period, and then Babal BAEAL. This was fun.
Y'all can find me at Twitter, RNVP _JRun. Next week's the NBA draft, which is very exciting time for me at least. So can't wait to see what happens.
Hopefully they do something with Anthony Davis. I'm tired of hearing this thing.
Anthony Davis is going to be traded. If not before the NBA drafts, on NBA draft day. We will find out where AD is going.
Yeah, and it's not to the Lakers, but it is
I fully expect AD to go to the Lakers, honestly.
Yeah, that's
because there's nowhere else he wants to go.
That's funny. This is JT RNVP. Follow me on Twitter at that handle. Like, review, share, comment, guys. That was a good episode. Eli, you gotta come back, bro.
You already do.
You gotta come back, man. Don't be let's make it frequent. That's it, guys.
What episode was this?
This is 11, Derek. This is 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was episode 11, RNVP, Real Nerve Variety Podcast. We'll check y'all later, guys.
Peace.